Good evening, everyone. Hello and welcome along to the Sports Corner Live. We are back once again for live watch-along action as the round of 16 gets to game number 2. You'll have seen, of course, earlier on, Rowan, with a very eventful match between Wales and Denmark, where Denmark did get the first victory of the round of 16 with a 4-0 win over Wales. And we now move on to the second game of the tournament in the round of 16, which Mr. KL will be covering. And first of all, Kieran, how are you?
We'll keep it PG. Capping myself. There we go. That'll be the PG way to put it. Yeah, nervous for this one. Should be good though, because I do think we are watching the most on-form team of the Euros so far, which has been the Italian side. See if they can continue their wave of momentum and break a record along the way.
Yeah, exactly. And second of all, I was going to ask you, how are you feeling for this game? And you've perfectly answered it. It's a very interesting match indeed. But if you are new to the stream, as always, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription if you are new on the channel. You're probably wondering, why have I got no camera on today? It's because Kieran's going to be covering most of the match today. I am going to be in and out of the stream, so I'll probably jump in at half-time and give you my thoughts on the game, as Kieran will no doubt be hoping that by the end of the game, we're either going to extra time with a chance that Austria can make it through, or they're winning the game and we don't have to have the nerves of a penalty shootout, because we like on this channel to ask for penalty shootouts. We never seem to get them, but I'm pretty sure today, Kieran, you're in the mould of, no, we don't want penalties. We just want somehow Austria to beat Italy and go through in the 90 minutes.
Yeah, that would be the dream scenario, is beating him in the 90 minutes. But if it has to be penalties, I'll take it as long as the Austrians make it through. But I've got a feeling tonight they're punching a little bit above their weight tonight. I'll get to predictions closer to the time of kickoff, Josh, but I'm nervous.
Very, very nervous indeed. How's everybody doing in the chat? Welcome along. Good to see everybody. Chris saying good evening, everyone. And Wales fans, hope you're well on this beautiful evening. I don't think there'll be many Wales fans in the building tonight, if I'm being honest with you. As Tubbs says, Italy, they're not winning this game because they don't have any guard back players.
Yeah.
And of course, that puts a big smile on Kieran's face before the game. As Kyle's in the building as well. How are we doing, Kyle? Welcome along to the stream as always. Let's go through the lineups before kickoff of this game in 5 minutes' time. And as you can see on your screen now, Italy pretty much line up with a very similar team to what they played in their second game of the tournament. Obviously, they changed it up in the third game because they were already through. Donnarumma is in goal, back four of Spinazzola and Di Lorenzo, the two fullbacks of this tournament, with Bonucci and Acerbi coming in. Of course, Chiellini out with an injury pretty much for the rest of the tournament, I believe. Midfield three welcomes Marco Verratti back into the team with Jorginho and Nicolo Barella. No space for Locatelli, which I think is a little bit of a disappointment after his good spell in the early fixtures. And then up top, pretty much the same front three, what Mancini has been running for the majority of this tournament. Insigne on the left, Berardi on the right, and Immobile in the middle. On the bench, pretty much a lot of the players that played in that previous match. Of course, the likes of Bastoni, Toloi, Bernardeschi, Chiesa as well in the side today. As for the Austrians, go on, Kieran. I'll let you take us through the Austrian side because it's full of Bundesliga stars.
It is. 21 of the 26 players they took to this tournament are from the Bundesliga, so we can take our pick, Josh. It's Daniel Bachmann in goal. They are sticking with the back four that they played against Ukraine. It's Alaba, Dragovic, Hinteregger, and the mighty Stefan Leiner, best right back at this tournament. Midfield three, Grilic, Schlager, and Sabitzer. And then the front three of Konrad Laimer, Christoph Baumgartner, and Arnautovic. I'm pretty sure that'll change in game. I don't know about you, Josh, because there's no real out-and-out winger in that game, and I don't think Leimer's the best right winger on the pitch, but it should be a good one. And the bench is Schlager again, Pervan, Ulmer, Posch, Ilsanker, Gregoric, Baumgart, Linger, Leinhardt, Trimmel, Schaub, Schopf, and Sasha Kaladzic. But yeah, Josh, what do you think? I know they've matched them up on paper, but I think it'll shift around a little bit in game.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. As you said, there is a lack of a winger, which we spoke heavily about when we watched them play the Netherlands, on how they lacked that little bit of pace up top. Very, very disappointed to see Lazaro not in the team. I assume he must have picked up an injury, I'm guessing, which has called him out of the squad. Because, we said it before, when he did come on against Netherlands, he was that one bright spark that did bring something to the game. And although they didn't score in the end, they looked like they could get something with him there. And I think he's going to be a massive miss in the squad. And I'm not just saying that because he's a Gladbach player or was a Gladbach player. I just think he does bring a bit of tenacity to the squad that maybe this Austrian side does miss a little bit.
Yeah, and I think you're right. And we do talk about, and I think Tubbs was just putting in the chat, it ain't going to be pretty when your right mid is more of a defender. I think that might be part of the game plan because you know how dangerous their wingers are and the overlapping fullbacks. That's why I think they might have put the more defensive players on the wing because you've got to admit Konrad Laimer did a very good job when lined up with Yarmolenko, who had been dangerous for the whole tournament. So maybe that's in the game plan.
Yeah, I would think so. We'll go through the rest of the comments in a second. Looking head-to-head, of course, got quite a record, these two sides. Played off against each other 35 times before. Italy winning the most matches, 16, which, when you think about it, it's quite surprising, actually, because it's just above half the amount of games that they've played off against each other. However, this is not a good start. Look away, Kieran. Last game, 2008, it was a 2-2 friendly draw. However, Austria haven't beaten Italy since 1960. They've played 13 times since then. So let's hope today that they can break that duct. And of course, as you can see the records, the Italy 16 wins, 8 draws, 11 defeats. Austria 11 wins, 8 draws, 16 defeats. And to obviously, as I said before, to get you to the record of these two sides facing off against each other, 1960 since the last win. And if you want to go even back further, because that was a competitive, that wasn't a competitive match, it was 1958 that they actually won the last competitive game. It was a 3-2 win in what was called the Dr. Gero Cup, which I would assume is a very interesting cup because I've never heard of it before. Yeah,
but you know the world famous saying, 14th time's the charm. Come on, everybody knows it. So let's give it a go. And as 2021 is the new 1960. Here we go. Come on.
We'll have to see, because I mean, if they could break that duck today, then it'd be brilliant for them. But before I let Kieran take the reins, because I'm going to be in and out pretty much for most of this stream, you're watching on iPlayer, aren't you, for this game? So for anybody in the stream, please don't spoil anything in the chat for Kieran, because he is going to be a little bit behind. And the last thing we want is for you guys to spoil it when Austria do go 4-0 up and Kieran is celebrating that Austria through to the next round. But very quickly, Chris putting in the stream, see Wales, mind your head on exit door. I got some tissues for your dragon tears. He says, home nations laugh when we get knocked out. So when they get knocked out, I think it's fair that we get to have a laugh with them. And I think you're very, very true with that indeed. Do put your predictions in the chat. Carl's put his in the stream already. He's gone 4-0 to Italy, Kieran, because Chris's prediction in the chat was 2-0 Italy. So nobody's going for Austria to win this game. I'm hoping maybe Tubbs can change that up very slightly. As Rowan has also gone for a prediction. He's gone 2-2, but Italy to win in pens.
Well, you know, you gave me hope for a little bit there that I thought we were going to get minimum. At least we're going to score, which is better than most. And we do know that the core, like the biggest point of this Italy team has been their defence. And Austria, and sorry, Tubbs has completely wiped out that by saying that Austria are going to score 4.
Is that by any chance we go 2-2 to extra time and then Austria score 2 in extra time to win it?
Well, that would be extremely impressive if that was to happen. But yeah, I'm going to go. I've got to back the boys, Anna. I'm going to go 0-0. We win on pens. There we go.
Do you know what? We'll take a nice early penalty shootout. That's what we want. As very quickly, Carl's put as well. Don't know how Baumgartner is playing. No way he's going to be fit after what looked like being concussed last game. Wouldn't be surprised if he came off, and that would ask a lot of questions, which is very, very true indeed. As Chris, he hopes Austria win because he does like an upset.
Well,
I'm going to go for my prediction.
Go on.
It's a tough one. I think it's going to be 1-0 Italy. I'm not going to go for a flashy, high-scoring game. I think it's going to be a tight one.
Thank you, Joe.
I'm probably going to be horribly wrong, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. But thank you for giving, only a 1-goal deficit. It's better than some of this absolute blasphemy I've seen from other members of the chat. And as Tubbs says, Austria are going to score 4 straight. But they'll let Italy get 2 goals back just to make them feel good about themselves. As we say, I think it will hopefully be and sausage over pasta, of course. Anytime.
I mean, Chris has put Josh is not going for a goal fest. Yeah, it's because
No.
I'm not the one streaming it, so I'm hoping it's a goal fest for you. But
Wow.
obviously, I want it to be a goal fest in a positive way for you.
Yeah.
You know, if you come out of this game with Austria winning by 2 or 3, then I feel like Chris will be. Well, Chris and Kyle will be looking very disappointedly at their predictions, thinking maybe we should have backed them in the end.
Yeah, I wanted Spain-Slovakia to be a goal fest, but by 4-0, it just felt like bullying, so it was just not. It just wasn't enjoyable to watch anymore. But by the way, for anyone wanting to know, I'm at 3 minutes and 12 seconds. And I know, obviously, I think I'm about a minute and a half behind normal telly, probably.
Yeah, you're about a minute behind, but to be fair, you're not missing much because the cameras have actually gone, so you can't see anything right now. But
oh wow.
Yeah, you'll see in about a minute. They just keep flickering on and off. So hopefully that gets sorted. But either way, I'm going to let Kieran take the reins. I'll come back in at half time. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we're not coming back to what I would call the Italian chainsaw massacre, where they've scored 4 or 5 before half time. Yeah. But I'll let you take the reins and I'll see you in a bit.
It's fine. I was going to go with El Spankico. So whichever one you want to call
That's probably better, to be fair.
Thank you. But there we go. Thank you very much, Josh, as always, for starting in the chat. I'm waiting for my screen to go off now. But as Carl says, it's not blasphemy, it's common sense and reality. There is a fine line between common sense and blasphemy when it involves this mighty Austrian side. But as you guys said, not hopeful for wow, yeah, the screen really does go black. That is exactly what's happened. As hopefully we can get the images back. As Tubbs has put, this is basically Bundesliga versus Serie A, and you are completely right. As I said in the build-up to the game, 21 of the 26 players in Austria's squad ply their trade in the Bundesliga. Well, that's what they said before kickoff anyway. And you look in the starting 11 today, Daniel Bachmann's the only one I can think of that doesn't, and Dragovic, of course, not anymore. But Chris has put, at least it's not my screen going off there. No, it's everyone's. And I remember, if any of you guys watched during the World Cup when Steven Gerrard scored against the USA, ITV missed it because their screen went black, and when the time it came back, we'd scored a goal. But no, it is everyone's screen, as you are damn right, Tubbs. And I'm glad to see you in the building supporting the one and only sole Austria supporter in the chat, Tubbs. Thank you very much. As I've not auto-banned Rowan when he came in. You have got your spanner though, so go wild in the chat. And it's Chris has put, well, it's the BBC, shouldn't it be so? Yeah, I don't know about you guys. I think the BBC's coverage has been slightly worse than the ITV coverage. And I don't often say that because national team games are usually covered by BBC because it's obviously, apart from the TV thing, it's pretty much no adverts and stuff like that. But I just think they've got the worse commentators than the ITV lads. And I'm just seeing Tubbs in the building. Bloody hell, last time I saw you on stream, KL, you cut the stream. If you're talking about the Gladbach Bayern Munich, that was not my fault. That was not my fault at all. As Bachmann and Immobile going at it early on, as I think Immobile was trying to stretch to get on the end of a through ball, and he slides into the feet of Daniel Bachmann. And Tubbs, you know full well it was a technical issue, and we can revisit this on the first game of the season now, because the fixtures got released the other day, and it's Gladbach Bayern on the opening weekend, which I'm heartbroken about. Sean's put, hello, Sean. I hope you're well, my friend, and looking forward to listening to the game tonight. Should be, fingers crossed, a decent game, as long as it's not a massacre. Do you remember when there was an FA Cup game where there was a goal and it cut to a break? I don't, actually. I don't remember that. I know there's been a few where, like, they've been showing a replay of goals and they've had to cut away quickly because there's a man through on net from the subsequent goal kick. As Chris still giving banter to the home nations, you love to see it. We've got to give Scotland credit in this tournament for scoring 1 goal, 1 point, and drawing 0-0 with England trophy. They will always have the 0-0 with England trophy to shine when it comes back to this tournament, Chris. So never forget it. As you said earlier, they're boogied all the way home because it's coming home and they're going home. So it's nice. It's nice to give a bit of banter back. And now Wales are out as well. But it'll all mean nothing if England go out in the last 16 on Tuesday. I hope you're looking forward to that one, lads, because it should be a good game, and Germany haven't been that impressive so far. But Carl's put Gladbach Bayern first game, mate. At least you can watch the 6-0 Bayern hammering this. This is terrible. I'm not doing this anymore. This is why I have to come on stream. I have to watch my team get dispatched, and then I have to listen to the people in the chat giving me grief because my team was admittedly quite crap. Yes, it was a Gladbach Bayern game. You cut it short before you eventually got spiked. It was not because I thought there was an impending 6-0 defeat. It was due to complete technical issues. Unfortunately, you can't rely on technology these days, guys. And especially, I've heard technology gets increasingly more likely to cut out when it's 3-0. Just keep that in mind for later tonight. Not that there's a reason that could happen, but technology does tend to weaken when it gets to 3-0. Just bear that in mind for later. As Italy do come forward, the most, arguably the most impressive team in the tournament so far, and it's mainly because of their unbelievably robust defence and their dynamic front three. And the midfield as well, to be fair, Jorginho's put some very good performances. And Locatelli, who sadly misses out. As I'm not reading that comment, subs. I'm not reading that. That's hate messaging. I'm not having that. That's absolutely terrible from you. But you you are so correct. We were so bad. But next year under Adi Hutter, it'll be different. Give us a transfer window, because now Floyd Neuhaus is staying, which is, I don't think that'll make much of a difference, but it's absolutely amazing. As ball went forward, and I think up there was Baumgartner, but his header was poor. Sorry, Sean, I'll be honest with you, mate. I've never watched The Office. I know it's a bad thing to say, but I've never watched The Office. Not the American version, not the English version. Maybe that's a terrible thing, but I genuinely have never watched The Office. As we're just reaching the 10-minute match. It's one of them that I probably need to sit down and get into and binge watch at some point, but I haven't managed to get around to it. As we're 10 minutes in, and I've got to admit, Austria will be the happier because they've stifled this Italy attack. They've not really had a clear-cut chance on goal. And Austria, for the most part, have been comfortable in possession. And there's space on the right for Stefan Leiner. Come on, lad. As he chips it towards the back post to Arnautovic, it is actually genuinely a poor cross, and Di Lorenzo can get it out. As Tubbs puts blasphemy. Sorry. Oh, you're talking about Matt Hancock. He's not a PG word that I can say on stream. But thank God he's out, eh? As Berardi is on the edge of the box and Xavi Schlager gets there. And thank you, Sean. I do understand now what you're on about. Bloody. Oh, and Spinazzola takes fire. I think, I know what you're talking about. My apologies, mate. But if you have watched The Office, do let me know how it is. As that obviously wasn't what you were going on about. And I don't know if Tubbs is saying blasphemy in terms of like The Office, or just blasphemy in terms of because why not? As Spinazzola's near post shot doesn't even hit the side net, and it's a poor attempt from him in the end. As they're zooming in on Roberto Mancini, and what a brilliant job he's done today. He could break an Italian record for games won in a row. I'm pretty sure at the moment they're on 31, I think. Fixtures won in a row, and yet to concede a goal in this tournament. If it was to be Austria, I'd be overjoyed. But they're just talking about it on commentary now, the unbelievable defensive record of Italy in the chat. But as I say, let me know how you guys are finding the game. I will tell you I'm on 11:47 minutes wise as it's through to Immobile. He's going to square up Dragovic. It's laid off to the edge of the box. Good tackle in the end by Marcel Sabitzer, who in the opening game was unbelievable for Austria. He was the main reason they were successful, I would say, early in the game against North Macedonia. But he's going to be important in that midfield. I think all the midfielders will. We look at Grilic as the holder of the midfield three. He's a new change into the starting 11 today. And Schlager and Sabitzer and Leimer and Baumgartner, they're just blessed with unbelievable midfield talent. as we get to, I'm on 12 minutes 36. As I will see that Liner puts poor cross in there. He's better than that. As Chris did put in the chat, he's still not getting into the coming home, but he's not on his bouncy castle like Peter Raymond. Peter Raymond's not in the building, Chris, at the moment. But when he comes in, you can tell him. But I was talking to Josh before the stream about England and the upcoming game, and we just can't get ahead of ourselves. Because I know a lot of people have looked at the draw and said, "Oh, we've got favourable fixtures if we get past Germany." Just take it one game at a time. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. As Liner's ball into the box is going to be caught by Donnarumma, who the only man to not have minutes yet is Alex Mere, and I've got a feeling if they're comfortable in this game, Italy, they might bring him on, but it's Insigne, and now this is where they're dangerous on the counter. He's going to shoot at Bachmann, and Bachmann, good catching save. Should save it straight at him, but he does make a good save and smothers it after his howler in week one. He's not had a bad tournament as Daniel Bachmann, as David Alaba, who started this tournament as a centre-back, moving now to left-back. As by the way, Tubbs, if you are still in the building, let me know your reaction to the Bayern fixtures, because they came out the other day, which, as here is Peter, ask and you shall receive. Evening all. Good evening, Peter, my friend. Nice to see you. As there you go. I was actually calling for you not too long ago, so it's nice to see you arrive right on cue, my friend. And Chris is straight back with great. Here we go. It's the rivalry we never knew we wanted. But 15 minutes in, and it's Italy on the edge of the box, probing. And it's another good attempt at an overlapping pass. It's Insigne. He's going to take fire from range again, and it's a nice block, and Alaba can get this one clear. And try and bring Austria up the pitch a little bit, because as much as they've had some safe possession in the game, they've not really managed to get up into the final third at any place. As Chris has put, here comes Peter on his bouncy castle. He's coming home bouncy castle. I remember you telling me the other day in his England flag Speedos. Oh, and he's coming on bouncy castle as my screen falls over because I bloody still have the wired earphones. But I've got to admit, we are at Wembley for this game today, and it does seem to be an Italy-favoured crowd as Austria getting booed when they're in safe possession from the back. So maybe Italy home field favourites, maybe slightly. I presume slightly more Italians made the journey than Austrians, because they are getting jeered every time they make a mistake. But I think Josh made a good point. It will be interesting to see if we do get maybe the first extra time or penalties, but still very early in this one with only 15 minutes played. But Italy, I would say, have been the better side, and they're driving down the left. It's drilled back in, and it'll fall to Berardi. Good save by Bachmann. Good save with a foot of Bachmann. It was a cross from the left, dragged back all the way to the edge of the box, and Berardi connected with it sweetly, but Bachmann made a good save, and he's going to have to be on top form tonight, the keeper. As I've got to admit, Stefan Liner, he's struggling on the left up against Insigne and Spinazzola, which I don't want to admit because I absolutely love Stefan Liner, but that left-hand side has been lethal for Italy so far. If you think about the combinations, as Liner lets it go, and he gets away with it in the end from Spinazzola, as Subs has put on match day one slapping. I think I might ask Josh, but do I want to do a watch along? Do I really want to do a watch along? Is the big question. I might see if I can do it, Tubbs, and we'll have a look. But I think it's going to be a match day one close encounter. Thank you very much. As it's going to be a shot from range met by Hinteregger and blocked. As Peter's put, Chris needs an optimistic potion. Oh God, oh God, indeed. And there is Chris, and he'll pass on the optimistic potion. on this occasion. But in terms of, I'll be honest, Peter, I could have done with some optimistic potion for both Switzerland and Austria's chances in the round of 16 with two tough teams, but the ball's over the top, and it is Marko Arnautovic. He's going to take a strike at goal, and he has to take it first time on the half volley, and it's over the top of the crossbar. Not a great chance, but the first real opportunity on goal for Italy. He gets wrong side of Bonucci gets on the wrong side, of Arnautovic, and unfortunately his volley was not as good as Barella's at the other end. And I can see your comment, Tubbs. And because of the said slapping that might come, I'm not saying will, might come on match day 1, Neuhaus will eventually decide to. I hope not, Tubbs. I hope he I genuinely mean this. I hope he goes to Liverpool for the pure reasoning that I don't want him to play in the Bundesliga with Bayern. You rob all the good talent. It's not fair. So Neuhaus is going to stay with Gladbach. I know there was some talks about maybe him going to one of these teams and being loaned back to Gladbach for a year, but I hope he just stays for one more year and goes to Liverpool, because I can't deal with you robbing all the good talent. And I'd like to give him to Chris's Liverpool if that's available, instead of your tyranny at Bayern Munich. As Chris put, if we somehow beat Germany, then there's no excuses. We should be reaching the final with the route we have. If we don't, it'll be a national embarrassment like the 2018 World Cup. But that's the problem. I think even when you've got an easier route, it's not on paper. It looks like an easier route, but them teams that you play will not believe that. Of course they won't. You know, Denmark, Netherlands, Czech Republic, Sweden, Ukraine, they'll all still fancy their chances, and they'll all give it 100%. I'm pretty confident of that, and we still have to get past Germany as well. So I don't think it'll be a national embarrassment. I won't go that far. I just think in terms of, getting to the final is a favourable route on paper, but these sorts of results, can look favourable on paper, but never come to fruition. Look at Hungary. On paper, they were the whipping boys, but they did a very valiant effort and managed to get 2 points, and I'd say a reasonably successful group stage for them, who were unfortunate to go out. And Peter agrees. He disagrees with Chris, but agrees that it a bit harsh, maybe calling it a national embarrassment. I mean, I wouldn't call the 2018 World Cup a national embarrassment. I think Croatia are a decent side. I do think we should have got where we got because of, the teams we faced. I agree with that. But, we fell short, and we dust ourselves off and go again. But Germany's a tough team. They're admittedly not been very impressive this tournament. They look off their game completely. Slightly fortunate to make it this far, besides the Portugal game. So that I do think they are there for the taking. However, we struggled with Scotland's wing backs, and Germany play a very similar system with Robin Gosens and Joshua Kimmich. He puts, Chris has been harsh, saying national embarrassment. Southgate is the one. We are a brilliant, exciting team. Peter, I don't want to say I disagree with some of that statement, but I do. I don't think we're fair. I don't think we're exciting. I could have napped through some of the fact. And by the way, I wouldn't call us exciting. Quite the opposite, actually. We're politely, I'm going to call us professional. We go about, we get the job done, albeit in an unenthusiastic way. We looked really good for 45 minutes. Got to admit that. As Chris agrees, we've not been exciting so far. I agree with you, Chris. But if we get results, I don't mind 0-0 in it all the way to the final if we win the Euros. I couldn't give a toss. It will not be an exciting route if we do play like that, but if that's the way it is to get results, then that's the way it is. Tubbs, Rowan has Germany to win it all. What the hell was he thinking? Tubbs, on the predictions, I have Germany to win it all because of the power of Matthias Ginter, my friend. That is why they're going to win it all. Neuhaus as well. He's on the bench most of the time. Jonas Hoffmann can't get in the squad, but I think he's got to do. He brings more to the team than Leroy Sané, who were rubbish the other night. Tubbs. your boy from Bayern Munich. But I do feel bad for Sane because he had a terrible injury. But he was god awful against Hungary. I don't know how he played 90 minutes, but I'd like to see Jonas Hoffman at least make the bench at some point in this tournament. So that is why Germany are probably going to get knocked out by England. Come on, it's coming home. But if they don't, they're going to win the whole thing because it's Matthias Ginter, Flo Neuhaus, and Jonas Hoffman. That's the way to win a tournament. And if not them, Switzerland. And if not them, Austria. And if not them, I'm out of predictions. As the ball's on the left-hand side, it's going to be blocked by Austria, who do have 9 men behind the ball. Arnautovic, they kind of the only man forward, and even then, he's halfway in his own half. So fairly compact performance from the Austrians. As the ball will just be a little bit like head tennis. As he puts Bernie the Bayern mascot is better than Sane. At least you agree with me, Tubbs. I thought it was awful the other night. But again, as I say, feel a little bit bad for him because of his injury, and he was so good before that injury. But hopefully he can refine his form. As Chris says, I'm still sticking to my opinion, KL, mate. As you should, my friend. Don't let other people change your opinions. We should have reached the final. I agree. I'm not saying Croatia are a bad team, but we are the better team. We were the better team on paper, yeah. I think overall in the 90 minutes or the 120 minutes it would end up being, I actually don't think we did enough to win the game at points. I think, especially in the second half and during extra time, we looked just a little bit too laboured, I should say, in the performance. And look, we should have made the final if we played to 100%, but I don't think we did. Obviously, Sterling not squaring it to Kane will always come back as one of the biggest moments. And, we were however many inches away from victory. But it is what it is, my friend. We should have made the final. We probably would have got beat in the final. As the ball's gone over the top here to Immobile, but it's great tracking back by David Alaba. And the assistance flag has not gone up. Insigne plays it into the middle. It's Spinazzola. Good tackle in the end by Dragovic. As Peter says, we were robbed of that. We were not robbed, Peter. We were not robbed. We got beat fair and square. But I've got to admit, Immobile might have been played on by either Alaba or Liner there, and he was free as a bird, but Alaba did very well to get back. Tubbs does agree. He was really bad. And Knowles Picker didn't even sub him off. No, he didn't. You're right. They do not look great, Germany. But you've got to admit, in the game against Portugal, they did look very impressive with their performance. Portugal up tomorrow night against Belgium. As the ball's whipped into the box and cleared at the near post by Austria. Chris says Peter is on the wind-up. I don't know if it's that or he's just extremely positive. And maybe it's a little bit of both. If we're being 100% honest, maybe it's a little bit of both. As TLV Beats, nice to see you, mate. I will warn you, TLV, while you're in the stream, I am behind. I'm on 26 minutes. So I might be a minute and a half behind. Wait for my reaction if you are going to put anything about the game. Just a warning for that. As he put, Italy's looking goofy right now. They're not looking great, but there is a break on for Austria. And they tried to do a ball to the right for Arnautovic, but nice to see your TLV Beats, mate. I hope you enjoy the game. But yeah, they're not looking the best, but they have had moments where they've been through on goal, and now they have another chance. It's Immobile. Tries to get the switch. It's intercepted by Stefan Liner. And TLV, he puts, yeah, but generally this game, they're just really goofy. They're just really goofy, mate. there you go. They look a little bit off kilter. Not as impressive as they've looked in previous games, but they are finding it difficult to break down literally a back 9 of Austria at the moment. As he's put, I'm not on the wind-up, lads. I feel fair play, my friend. I think we were beaten in the end by a team that were better than us on the night, I would say. I do have regrets, of course. Some things I would have done differently, but that's fair. But as TLV Beat says, they're just looking a bit goofy tonight. And with 27 minutes played, I think I agree. I think Austria will be the happier with the way the first half has been played out, because Italy have had a few chances, but nothing of real intent. As he puts, fair enough to Austria, they're playing a 9-0-1. I think you're being polite, TLV. I think they're playing a 9-1-0. If we're being 100% honest, because even Arnautovic at points is playing like a deep midfielder with the way they're playing. It's not quite a 10. It's a 9-1-0. But I agree. That's probably just stifling Italy a little bit. They're struggling to get in behind. And when they do, there's too many men in the final third to block it out. As Peter's put, Chris is Mr. Moody as they renew their differing opinions. But that's what football's about. It's about opinions. And at the moment, I think, in the opinion of most, Austria have put in a decent defensive performance so far. But it's Italy's turn to come forward. And they're just, as I say, looking a little bit off the pace at the moment. And there's Arnautovic just kind of remote on the halfway line. There's one of him up against the, I would say, two centre-halves and a full-back, but Di Lorenzo does drop into a back three, like Florenzi did in the opening couple of games before he was out with an injury. But some of the Italy side are out with injuries, of course, with Florenzi and Chiellini, but Acerbi has slotted in, and I think he's done a fair enough job, as it'll be a free kick near the halfway line, Marco Verratti, and it's taken quickly. It's Insigne. He's looking towards the back post, but he's overhit it. And it's Barella. He tries the 1-2, and Alaba just clears it and hoops it upfield, and there is nobody up front because Arnautovic is literally sitting in the middle of his own half trying to help with the defensive work, and TLV Beats has put it right. He's knocked it right on the head there. Bro, what the F? There's so many defenders. This is actually mad. And that's what Italy are finding difficult at the moment. I think this is what Austria's game plan might be. Hit them on the counter, try and get a set piece. As Insigne goes to roll it across the box, it's intercepted by Alaba. We'll see if Austria can kind of bring the ball away. But no, it'll be another wave of attack from Italy. But now, when they're countering, I don't think there's enough men committing themselves forward. They're going to have to break a neck to get up there with Arnautovic, because it is, at the moment, a 4v5, and they will earn themselves a throw. And I think this is the way Austria are going to play it. 10 men behind the ball, earn set pieces off the counter-attack or score off the counter-attack, and then sit back again if they have the lead. So, as Chris puts, you're entitled to your opinion, Peter, but your opinion sounds like a busted toilet flush. I mean, it's a backhanded compliment. Entitled to your opinion, but your opinion is bad. As Peter laughs at him in the chat. It's good to see you taking it with a pinch of salt. It's all fun and games at the end of the day. No opinion is a wrong opinion if it's your own. That is wrong, actually. That is completely wrong. A lot of opinions are wrong. Like mine thinking Austria are going to win this game. Probably the wrong opinion, but we'll never, ever know. As finally, Austria kind of have men committed to the final third, and they're trying to get the foot on the ball and probably slow it down a little bit. As TLV Beats, but I'm a dip. Enjoy the game, my friend. But I'm subscribed. I'll be tuning into more of these. Well, we do have every game of the Euros covered, my friend. So make sure to hop in whenever you fancy. Thank you for subscribing, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the game. And fingers crossed for my bias, Austria get the opening goal and win the game. So thank you, TLV Beats, mate. Nice to see you. As Austria actually are playing like Arsenal. What the hell? I'm thinking more of a Burnley or a Stoke, but Arsenal this season maybe, but they don't have an 18-year-old carrying them, Austria, like Arsenal do with Bukayo Saka. As there's going to be a switch of play, Liner, it goes over his head. There's going to be an overlap from Spinazzola, who is so dangerous when he gets advanced past Insigne. As Immobile hits from long range and hits the outside of the post. And I tell you what, that might be the way to break them down. It would have took a moment of pure quality from Immobile, and we know he has it in him. I saw it during the Champions League, and he takes a strike from distance, and he hits the outside of the post. It would have been a beauty from the Lazio forward, but it's unfortunate, and that's the closest Italy have come. And that, to be fair, when you've got 10 men behind the ball like Austria do, and you're struggling to break them down and get real opportunities, it will take a moment of pure quality like that to kind of accelerate and kick your team into the next gear. But here come Italy again. As Insigne goes for the switch, Alaba does intercept it well. And now we'll see if Austria can do anything. As Carl says, cheers TLV, nice to see you, my friend. Thank you for the sub. If you are new, please make sure to like and subscribe, as I'm sure we'll tell you at half time. As I did see Peter's joke, Stefan is on the bench wearing his posh perfume. Stefan Posh joke there, lovely. To be fair, Peter, he's one of them where we don't actually see much of Stefan Posh, so I appreciate you giving him some respect on the bench. As Chris says, here comes the jokes. He's got away from the it's coming home and he's gone back to the pun-based banter. And there's been a few in the past, Peter, that have really got me during the goal shows. And I've had to, I've been laughing in the background, but you can't see me because I do like a good pun, as the lads will know. They usually roll their eyes at me when I make one, to be honest with you, mate. I made one the other day in the group chat, and I think Rowan just said no, which is probably sums it up. As we are 33 minutes into this one now, and Italy just trying to win the ball back from Austria, but they really don't have anything in the final third, and they're not really getting the ball into the feet of Arnautovic to hold it up, and it's just been mainly Italy barrage attacks. As we're just looking back at the strike from long range, which was took by Immobile, and the man is oozing confidence at this point, and he just hits the outside of the crossbar, and outside of the post, sorry, and what a goal that would have been. But you need that bit of luck if you're going to beat them tonight. If you're Austria, you are going to need some things to go your way, because Italy, as we've said previously, arguably the new favourites in terms of performances. As they will earn a free kick deep in Italy's half, will Austria. And this, I will say, as I've mentioned previously, might be their best opportunity, as Baumgartner is taken out by Marco Verratti. And Peter, Peter, you've made that one. Come on, lad. Better than that. I've got high standards for you, Peter. Don't know why, after your previous experiences. But I've got high hopes for your puns, and that one's poor. But the Welsh are going home, so we can all laugh at that, I guess. Alaba has an unbelievable delivery, and he's the one standing over the free kick at the moment. Hinteregger has scored plenty of goals for Eintracht Frankfurt. Arnautovic and Baumgartner both have scored previously in this tournament. It's to the back post. It's cleared by Italy, and they've got to do better than that, Austria, from the set-piece opportunities, because they're not going to get many in this game. And they've got to do better than that. And Alaba, a man with an unbelievable delivery, just needs to be doing better. As Peter's jokes are mediocre in general, to be fair. I think it depends on your type of humour. I have a really easy sense of humour. As Arnautovic skipped past 1 and 2, Schlager knocks it into the middle of the box, and Gianluigi Donnarumma saves it, and there is a man down. And it's Baumgartner again. Another head injury for Baumgartner, and I think Kyle mentioned earlier about his form again, his injury, sorry, in the previous encounter after his goal, and he might have to be replaced again, as Schlager kind of laid one up, and Donnarumma, good goalkeeping. All right, but he did take a hell of a knock in the face, did Baumgartner. And it might be an early sub for Austria. As hello, Sean, mate. How's everyone's day been? It's been all right. Watch the football. Watch Wales get destroyed. But besides that, not too much interest. I was at a cricket match earlier, lost by 5. Unlucky there, mate, but played better than I thought we would do. Umpire decided to watch England v Sri Lanka 2020 halfway through. Who can blame him? If you want to. If you're umpire in a cricket match, but you'd rather watch the 2020, why not? I mean, I'll be watching some games on my phone, as big fans of Austria I am, and Baumgartner I don't know if he'll be replaced, but he had a bad head injury during the last game. And then he's got another one here. Now, you don't want to risk it. And just hearing from the commentators, 47 years since Austria last came to London. So it's nice to have you back. But yeah, Dave's going, glad to see you played better than you thought you would. As long as you exceeded expectations, Sean, that's all that matters, my friend. Take the moral victory if you didn't take the literal one. Hopefully in the next game you play, I don't know if it's like a weekly thing, next game, you can take that form and take it into a win. As the ball is free on the right-hand side, and now Nautovic is in a foot race with Bonucci. He cuts back, not the two quickest players on the pitch, albeit, as Liner provides a bit of width on the right-hand side. It's a good block in the end by Insigne tracking back. A little bit better from Austria in the last couple of minutes. We had a beautiful bit of skill from Arnautovic in the far right-hand corner. Put a lovely back flick through two people and ended up releasing Javi Schlager, who put the other ball in. As Kyle says, hey, Sean, doing good. Glad you have a good time. Ref was cheeky. That's ballsy from the ref. It is. To just ignore the game you're playing and just watch a different one. It is quite... I can't tell if it's shithouse or quite funny or both. As Alaba comes forward. Oh, it's a chip ball towards the back post. I think Liner's there. Does win the header. Good effort, Liner. As that was the slowest chase down by two players I've ever seen. You're not wrong. When you release the ball in behind and you're expecting to, defender and attacker to be in a foot race. The other day when it was Mbappe v Hummels and Hummels got embarrassed, this was like Hummels v Hummels. It was just two very, very mediocre players in terms of speed. Unbelievable defender in Bonucci, but speed was never his forte. As Kevin was on his way to the manager's office to ask if he could start next game, he got his hand trapped in the office. Not bad, Peter. Not bad. Chris puts OD. It's not great, Peter. It's not great, mate. As a running behind here by Insigne, they'll call for the referee's flag, but I think because of the way the Euros are working at the moment, the Austrians are going to have to play to the whistle. And we'll have to see. I don't know if it counts as a new phase now, and it will now because the ball will be defended by Austria. And the offside flag is up. Brilliant. I've only wasted like 2 minutes of my life. As I know we've talked about this rule before, but Insigne did try and break through the middle, and yes, he was miles offside. Put your flag up, please. As Tubb says, both pace are on red. Oh, definitely. I think we're not exactly looking at the 80s or 90s in pace there, Tubbs, mate. I think we're looking at the high 60s. High 60s, if we're being polite, between the two. But I tell you what, if Arnautovic can beat Bonucci in a foot race, it's might prove fruitful for Austria. You never know. As the ball's flicked lovely to the left-hand side, it's Spinazzola. He gets himself all in a tangle. I think they'll appeal for a penalty, no way. And the thing is, Austria are getting it clear, hoofing it long, and it reaches the halfway line. And because there's only blue shirts there, it's restart and go again. And as you said, high 60s. That's too polite. Sorry, I don't want to be rude, but yeah, high 60s maybe even a bit polite for that. But it's also one of them Tubbs. I don't know if you agree. I kind of want to watch that. I kind of want to watch another race between them. Like, I just want someone to fire a ball in down the side and have them two chase it again. Because maybe that's me, but it would be quite funny. I'd also like to see. The thing is, this Austria team isn't blessed with any pace. If we're being 100% honest, I will say the guy that brought pace in the last game was Lazaro, who's not even in the squad today, unfortunately. And even the subs, really, I don't see any pace from any of them. Maybe Shop, but I feel we're being polite with his pace as well. I don't think he's exactly a speedster. He's very quick, but he's not a speedster. And I mean, if you sub off Arnautovic for Kalajic, no Anisimwo either on the bench, which is a harsh decision. Maybe it's via injuries. I'm not quite sure. Because, I mean, look at today. Denmark kept it quiet that Yusuf Poulsen was injured. Dolberg came in and did a brilliant job. As Shot near the near post, and it was tame from Spinazzola, but Bachmann had to touch it around the post. He wasn't sure, wasn't 100%. But the left fullback, who is definitely a left midfielder, we'll see if they can do anything from this set piece. The Italians now. The ball's whipped in. Bonucci heads it on, but it'll go out for thinking. As he says, if Mbappe is F1, those two a while ago was like karting. Are they that fast? Are they really that? I feel like they're bicycles, if anything, compared to F1 cars. I feel these two are Tour de France. Maybe even just pedestrian walkers. But yeah, as Chris says, he's got the new Carlisle home kit yesterday. Absolutely in love with it. Do you know what, mate? I've not seen it. I'll give it a look during halftime while Josh is speaking. I'll let you know. Hull's kit got released. If you want to check it out, it's like a little sash. I actually quite like it. I know, obviously, traditionally it's like the stripes. As congratulations on your new kit, by the way. We love a new. I do like the release of new kits. And Tubbs actually onto that point. Just quickly, I'll watch this attack as the ball's put back in clear. Tubbs, have you seen Gladbach's new home kit? I don't like it. Why is there a rectangle around our badge? I don't understand. But let me know what your thoughts are in the chat. I like the Hull kit. Not a fan of the Gladbach home kit anyway. The white one with the green rectangle around our badge, unnecessary. But let me know your thoughts in the chat on your team's kits. But I'll have a look, Chris, at our time at Carlisle's. Did you get a name on the back? That's another question. As we are creeping towards half time, it's not been the most thrilling watch, I would say. But I think Austria's game plan is very, very clear. 9 men behind the ball, make themselves difficult to break down. As the ball is dispatched to the left-hand side, Insigne is coming infield to allow Spinazzola to have the width, and the ball's out on the right. Barella's on the edge of the box, chips it wide to Spinazzola again, and then probably going to be a foul, which the ref will eventually blow up. And Tubb says, "Yeah, looks dull to say the least." KL, yeah, I agree. I was looking forward to it as well because I wanted to buy one. I did buy one once, but I did buy a Gladbach kit. I had to send it back because I didn't realise it was a skin tight fit. And unfortunately, I'm not built like a man that can rock a skin tight fit, so I had to send it back. Chris has just had a look at the whole kit. Not the worst. I agree. I actually quite like it. Obviously, as I say, traditionally it's like the stripes. I actually like when we do a little bit different. Do I have the other kit here, or have I put it in my? Well, here's last year's away kit, which was very nice. I was a big fan of that one. I'll put it there. Big fan of that. Had our stadium imprinted on it in dark, but I can't find the other one that was very similar. But thank you, Chris. I agree. I think it's not too bad. I might cop the home kit, might cop the away kit when it gets released. I'm not sure. I'll have a look, but I would definitely want them. I was showing the lads the other day. I do have quite a Hull City kit collection. Even when we were sponsored by Flamingo Land, not my proudest moment. I'll give you that. As there is 1 minute of additional time, as I'm going to have to, during half time, I'm going to have to let Josh take over for 2 minutes and go and nip and get my phone charger for the game. Because as I say, I'm watching it on iPlayer at the moment. But it is a free kick. The ball's whipped into the back post and it goes over everyone. And that will be half time. Thank you, Tubbs, in the chat. I think you know that I'm behind. It is half time. Josh, do you want to come in and, if you are here, I hope you are here, and give your thoughts? Or if you're not here, wait till whenever. I'll just give it 2 minutes. Serious. Hi, Josh, you all right, mate?
Has everybody woken up from that first half of incredible action?
Mate, I'm not bothered by this, and you'll know I'm not fussed by this. Like, it can stay like this if it goes all the way. I'm just going to go and nip and get my charger. My apologies, my friend.
Yeah, go for it. Honestly, I think if you are not of the Austrian fan base and you are not of the club of Austria and you're hoping for an entertaining game, then I wouldn't say that this is the neutrals' favourite match to watch whatsoever. It hasn't had many chances in the game. In fact, we've only had 2 shots on target in the whole of the match so far, both, of course, going to Italy. But if you are an Austrian fan, on the other hand, I think you're quite buzzing with that first half. The fact that you've kind of sat behind the ball, every man's been there to defend. Arnautovic has sat deep. It hasn't been a great game for the neutral to watch, as Tubbs has put. It was quite boring, I think, as well. I have to agree with you, if we're being honest. While Kieran's gone, put your honest thoughts in the chat on the game. You can open up to me, and I can talk to you about it honestly, because, yeah, it's not a great game whatsoever. Austria-wise, yeah, look, they'll be happy to defend. I think that you can quite clearly see is the game plan for the whole of the 90 minutes. I think they're just hoping that they can ride the storm and maybe have one chance on goal. And even then, they've had one shot in the whole of the match. I don't think they've really got the quality of players to take them far in this competition. And if they do go through today, then whoever goes through to the next round does, of course, face off against one of Belgium or Portugal. So even if they do make it through, again, they'd have another tough game coming their way. But for Italy, you've got to look at the opposite and say they've got to break this Austrian side down. And they haven't. They had that one big chance in the game, which Immobile took from outside of the box, which hits the outside of the bar. A really good effort. And I think he's been a bit of a bright spark in the game. But if we're being truthfully honest, this looks like a game of chess where one team is actually quite far in the lead in this game. In Austria, they seem to know the moves and how to play the game. As for Italy, if this was a chess match, it's as if they've never played chess before and they don't know what to do because they look clueless right now. And as Kyle's put himself, Italy look like a different team. They just can't seem to figure out this Austrian team and specifically the defence. And as you said, Kieran, I think if you are an Austrian fan, you're quite happy because it doesn't look like Italy are going to break them down. And that prospect of extra time, unless there is some magician on the pitch that we see come on, maybe make the difference. Maybe we do see a bit of extra time and penalties if needed.
Yeah, I think the only problem we've got, Josh, is when you are spending 45 minutes just chasing the ball, because that's all they've done, really. There's been a few moments when they've got forward, but let's be real, few and far between. It does get very tiring, and it's hard to keep that up for 90 minutes. We've seen teams, I remember it was against Sweden. Who was it against Sweden that played Slovakia? You know, they played defensive for so long, but then they gave away a lazy penalty and it was 1-0 to the. So it is difficult to stay defensively solid for 90 minutes with the way they are playing, because we mentioned earlier, it is a 9-1-0 that Austria have implemented in this one.
Yeah, it is. And I think they've also got players that could do that to a certain extent. You know, as you said before, they all play in the Bundesliga pretty much. They all play high-level football. So I think they've got enough quality players about them to try and think that they can sit back in a match. But I said before, it's one of those where whoever goes through is going to play Belgium or Portugal, one of the two. It's a tough team either way. And if we're being honest, Austria, if they do go through, that's probably as far as they're going to get, because I think both of those sides in Belgium and Portugal will play much more attacking football than Italy do, because Italy have certain shape, certain system. And I think Belgium and Portugal, they're the types of teams that, if we're being truthful, no disrespect to Italy, have higher quality players in the attacking sense of play that could break down an Austrian side. But, I mean, at the end of the day, as I said, it means that this next 45 is probably going to be similar. I can't see Austria somehow surprising us and coming out in the second half and going, do you know what, let's go for it, because I think they know that they ain't going to get any chances if one, which they did have one, and it came out of it from outside of the box, and that was a bit of a poor effort. And talk about Arnautovic, I need to say that he needs to watch out, because he's running the real risk of getting sent off in this game. One more tackle, and I think he's going to be off the pitch and become the second player of the day to get a red card. Yeah, he got a yellow card very early on. I would say it was an old-fashioned let him know you're there, but the man had completely passed him at that point, and he just slid in anyway. Yeah, even the Jorginho foul at the very end of the first half, when he just kind of pushes his body into him. You're not going to be running the risk in that second half of you don't want to be running risk even in the second half of your forward getting sent off, because we've already seen on the bench, Kalajic is probably one of the only players they've got that could maybe make a difference. And I think we know what Arnautovic is like. He's got quite a piss poor temperament, if we're being honest with you, and he's very prone to just completely being a bit bipolar on the pitch and being a bit aggressive.
Yeah, he's got the fuse of a player you don't want to be on a yellow card within 30 seconds, because he does run the risk. He's part of his game. He's very bullish. He's very aggressive. And, sometimes it works in his favour and sometimes he gets a little bit over the top. And, the only man who could ever get a suspension from celebrating sometimes, I swear to God, but we know that he has, as you say, some tendencies to be over the top, and I don't know, lacks common sense. And it's weird to say that. He just does lack common sense sometimes.
Yeah, and that's part of his play. I guess that's his persona at the very least. But, it's one of those games where I think I would not be looking necessarily to change it yet, but I would always have in the back of my mind maybe one or two players that can make the difference. And I think looking at the bench, and of course, do say in the chat for you guys if you think of any players you would bring on, and whether you're the Italian or the Austrian manager. I think two players that could make the difference in this game. One of them, Chiesa, I think could be somebody who's a bit of a hot wire in these types of games. Bring him on for a bit of pace, bit of flair. Tends to like to take on a player, and I think that's what we need right now on the pitch. Somebody who can take a man on, because a lot of the player has been kind of fed through the middle towards Immobile, who, has been quite lively in the game, but he needs help from his wingers, because we haven't seen much of Insigne, which I think has been fairly disappointing. And then another player, I think, if you are getting a bit desperate, I'd love to see them bring on Raspadori, another forward, bit of pace. I think he's another player in this tournament that I would love to see come on and give him a go. But if you were to bring anybody on, who would you bring on the Italian side if you were the manager?
I think the one thing is they've got as I think Chris mentioned in the chat, they're lucky they've got a lot of depth. So if they are struggling to break Austria down, plenty of players to bring on. You've mentioned Chiesa. Easily you can mention Bernardeschi in that same sort of mould as him. I would like to see Matteo Pessina come on, because I thought he was very impressive in the midfield when he came on. Because as you see with them three midfielders, no out-and-out advanced midfielder of the three, of course. And you've got Locatelli. I feel they might favour Belotti over Raspadori. More experience, maybe a little bit slightly more reliable than the likes of Raspadori. But youth can bring, that kind of excitement and fearlessness that maybe a Belotti won't bring. So, look, there's so many to choose from that bench. But I think the obvious subs are Chiesa, Bernardeschi. But if you're going to choose Raspadori as your secret one you'd like to bring on, I'll go Pessina.
I think he's just bringing on someone to change this game up, because it just, apart from Immobile, I don't see anybody on the pitch right now that can take the game to them. I mean, Spinazzola's been fantastic at the back again, another quality performance from him. But even then, you cannot rely on your full-backs to do the work. And I think that's been Italy's problem right now. They just don't know how to break them down, and it's going to be tricky for them, because obviously when you've got Austria, we said before with the way that they're playing, it wasn't going to be a case of the wingers kind of playing a winger role, and we were spot on with that. They are pretty much playing as full-backs at certain points when needed to. But is there anybody on the bench that you see as somebody who can make the difference for Austria, maybe, in the attacking side of play?
It's hard, isn't it? Because if you look at that bench, out-and-out attacking changes are very few and far between. If we're being honest with each other here, Josh. But Gregoric is one player, who's come on in previous games. I worry about Baumgartner. I hope he's okay. But he's had 2 knocks to the head in back-to-back matches, so I'm surprised if he's replaced. I think Gregoric and Kalajic are obvious. I think Schopf is another player. But the rest, maybe that'll just be... I think there'll be a lot of like-for-like for Austria. The longer we go into the game, and if it's still 0-0, I don't think they're going to be the team to take off a midfielder for a forward at 0-0. I think they'll kind of take what they've got. I don't know about you, but I feel we'll see a lot of like-for-like late on. Maybe even slightly more defensive, if that's possible, from them.
That's what I was thinking. I think they'd probably go more defensive if they were 1-0 up, let's say, somehow. I think they would probably bring off the wide midfielders and start bringing on fullbacks, because you look at the bench of Austria, it's very defensive. 3/4 of the players on that bench are centre-backs, fullbacks, CDMs. They've not got, as we said before, many attacking players they can bring on. You've got Plagic, you've got Gregorich, and you've got Sof. And apart from that, you are then looking at defenders. So options-wise, they are very lacking. And that's going to be Austria's problem in this game. And if they do go through, let's say tonight, that will be a big problem when it comes to a game. For example, if they do play Belgium or Portugal, if they are 1-0 down, let's say, they haven't really got many players they can bring off the bench. And even today, they haven't got many players they can bring off the bench if they are losing to try and change the game up. And that's when they're going to be heavily relying on what they've got on the pitch now. And we've seen it through the tournament. Apart from that one game where they absolutely battered Ukraine, I don't think there is another real kind of game where they're going to take it to another team and spank them up, if I'm being polite to them, because they just haven't got players that can go out there and do that often, especially when you're coming up against the bigger teams. Because against a team like Ukraine, fair dues, okay, rankings-wise, very similar, probably head-to-head wise in comparison to a Holland or an Italy. But right now, it just feels like it's how long does it take for Italy to get that first goal in this game, rather than a case of how long is it before Austria break them down? Because I don't see them doing it, if I'm being honest with you.
No, I think the worst part is a little bit is the fact that they've offered nothing going forward. I think Donnarumma's had to claim a few crosses, and that one chance, as you say, from Arnautovic with the bouncing ball that went miles, well, not miles over, I think that's a bit harsh, but yeah, they've just offered nothing. And that's a real shock for me from Austria, is how defensive that bench is, which I don't know what the reasoning is. Have you found a reason why Lazaro and Anisimov aren't in? Is it injury related? Is it suspensions? I doubt it's suspensions. They don't play.
Yeah, it can't have been suspensions wise in terms of why they're not there. I can't see anything on why he's not there today. I'm just having a quick gander to see if there's.
I'm going to do the same.
And I can't see anything. But if you find it before me, then do say so. But in terms of what's coming up on the channel, obviously we've got more games coming up. As we said before, we've got the whole of the Euro still to cover with the knockout stages. Lots of action to come over the next few days. This is a look at what's to come on the channel over the next few days of round of 16 action. And of course, we've got the second half of Italy-Austria. That's coming up in about less than 5 minutes' time. Hopefully, we'll get a few goals in that game. We're back tomorrow with 2 more games. We've got Netherlands against Czech Republic. Rowan's going to be live with that at 10-5. Should be a very interesting game, that one, because the winner of that game will face off against Denmark. And then the big game, Belgium-Portugal. The winners of this match now will be playing the winners of that game. I'll be live at 10-8 for that match. Should be a cracker indeed. And then I've also got Croatia versus Spain. That's on the 28th of June at 10-5. A repeat of the Euro 2016 game. Should be an interesting game, that one. And that's what's coming up over the next few days or so. But have you found a reasoning to why he's there? Or not there even?
I'll be honest. No. Because whenever you search him on Twitter, obviously it's all in a different language, and I'd have to go through and translate every tweet. And not in a harsh way, I just can't be bothered doing that. There's too many, Josh. There's too many tweets with his name in it. So
I don't blame you.
I'll try and get it on Google. Let's say Lazaro, Austria national team. I know we can look at Anisimov as well, but I care more about Lazaro. So
while you do that, I'll quickly read out some of the comments before we get back into the second half. Don't forget, as always, do check out our social media too. Links are in the description and in the chat, as Carl has very kindly done, as he always does. Twitter is at @the_top corner, and our Instagram is _sports corner _. Do go check those out if you haven't already, if you want to find out when we do go live on our channel. Of course, the new season slowly coming up towards us. We'll have official confirmation on when our season of watch-along action will begin in the next coming months. So do go and check that out. And as the second half does get underway very shortly, seeing what you guys have put in the chat. And obviously Chris and Pete have been talking about England and the Germany match on Tuesday, which should be a very good day of action. Rowan covering both of those games, of course, on the last day of round of 16 action. But as Chris said, I said before this match to my mate, Italy not been tested in this tournament yet. And they definitely will get tested in the next round if they do go through, because one of Belgium or Portugal they've got world-class players that can test them. And even now, you could actually say, to be honest with you, that this is the biggest test that they've had because they've got to break down Austria. It's not a group stage game now. And as the time ticks on further, the risk of elimination and the risk of Austria scoring is going to build.
Yeah. And if it goes to penalties, it's a 50-50 toss-up, isn't it?
It's anyone's game then.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter what happened in the... There is extra time in this tournament, isn't there? I'm guessing it's 100. Yeah. So I think Austria will be happy with the way it's gone. Italy, not so much. I don't think there's any changes. Josh, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not convinced there is.
No changes.
But my second half is underway. It's I'm at 45 minutes and 35 seconds.
Perfect. Right, I will let you do the second half. No changes, as far as I'm aware. Nobody's come onto the pitch, but we'll have to see whether or not one of these two sides can break the deadlock. Because, as we said before, extra time and penalties might be on the cards, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see.
Yeah, not going to get ahead of ourselves just yet, but we are underway with the second half with 46 minutes now on the clock. And it will be a free kick to Italy. I'm expecting much of the same in this second half. I do think Italy will dominate possession, dominate chances. They've got an unbelievable kind of plethora of talent on the bench that they can delve into if it is required in this game. And as for Austria, not as blessed on the bench. And I think a lot of that is a bit of a surprise, in my personal opinion, that they've not got a few more attackers on there. Everybody seems on... As Josh said, 3/4 of the team from the bench seems defensive-minded. But let me know what you guys think for the second half. As Chris did say earlier, Italy have not really been tested via Italy, Wales, or Switzerland. I think on paper the toughest test was maybe Switzerland, and they got dispatched quite easily. But Switzerland, I'm not going to comment on that. As this second half is started, only 2 minutes in, but Austria having a little bit of the ball, and they're giving it away straight away. And on the turnovers of possession, I think if Italy can move the ball quicker, as it's Immobile again, he seems to be eyeing it up from distance. I'm not sure he was fully convinced. As the ball will be drilled low across the box, and it is cleared. 2 Austrian men falling over each other to get in front of Berardi. It was Dragovic and Liner. As Chris is still sticking with his 2-0 prediction. I think, maybe 4-0's out the window, but you never know, actually, if it gets late on in the game and Austria have conceded 1 and they start pushing men forward and, they get caught out on the counter-attack. I think we saw that with Wales earlier. The wheels well and truly fell off as Italy are on the edge of the box again. They're taking the long road and it's blocked by Hinteregger. It's going to have to be a hell of a performance from that back four, as it was in the first half. But Arnautovic now, it's a shocking touch from Bonucci. He's one-on-one. He's got no help at all. He's going to have to do it all on his own. He goes to his left foot, cuts on his right foot, cuts back on his left, back on his right. Oh, and he's such a bad shot. It's going out for a throw-in. But Arnautovic there, credit to him, did a brilliant bit of work when he was 1-on-3 at the back. He was inside and out, and he did have runners in the end when he made that final cutback. But he went for a shot on goal, and instead of bending it towards the far post, he completely sliced it, and it went out for a throw-in. But that's positive from Austria, and they've got it free again, and they've come back from replay a little bit late. And I'm not sure who the foul's on, and it's going to be a Austrian free kick on the edge of the box. I'm just having a look because they came back from replay late. And Xavi Schlager, it may be a foul actually by the Austrian player in the end. But we're looking back at Di Lorenzo's tackle. He does win the ball, Di Lorenzo, to be fair. He does go over the top of Baumgartner a little bit, but no. It's going to be a yellow card for Di Lorenzo. He did win the ball, but he did also go over the top of the ball a little bit, and it will be an Austrian free kick. And Giovanni Di Lorenzo is on a yellow card, and it'll be a free kick on the edge of the box. And Alaba is decent. set pieces. He's decent. He's standing over it. As is Marcel Sabitzer, I think, as well. Schlager's eyeing it up, but I don't think he'll go for it. Italy yet to concede a goal in this tournament, but this might be the best chance that Austria have. David Alaba stands over it. Long time sorting out this wall. I think it's... And Nicola Barella has picked up a yellow card in that confusion as well. I think probably for dissent, complaining about the original decision. But this is right on the edge of the 18-yard box. Donnarumma just sorting out his wall. This is taking a very long time. Sorry for the silence. They're still waiting for this wall to be sorted. Anthony Taylor's got the spray out. It'll be hard to get it up and over from here. But Alaba has got the talent to do so. Still moaning about the wall. Anthony Taylor steps away from it. Fans throwing up a prayer for Austria. Referee blows his whistle. Come on, David Alaba. It's over the wall and it's over the crossbar. And it was a big build-up. And unfortunately, it's over the crossbar. Arguably their best opportunity of the game so far, and it was agonisingly close. Over the crossbar from David Alaba. But Austria's best chance by a million miles, I think, at this point. But now, there was Italy's chance to counter. I thought they'd earned a free kick there, but maybe Austria have got their tails up a little bit because there's a 4-on-4. Arnautovic slows it down a little bit. He's dropped very deep. He gives a difficult ball to control to Grilic, but Alaba's on the overlap, and he earns his side a throw-in. And Austria at the moment are kind of kicking it up to second gear, which we have not seen for 52 minutes of this game. And it's already, I think, a better start than the first half, as Hinteregger has it deep, and it's a switch that won't be kept in by Lima. And again, Austria are going to have to go back to their defensive positions, as Italy have a throw in deep in their own territory. But what a chance for David Alaba to give his nation the lead. But it is with Austria now, and it's a flick back by Arnautovic. He's going to be dispossessed in the end, unfortunately, on the other side of the box. And that'll be a foul, unfortunately, by, I think, Grilic in the end. Di Lorenzo's down, and Anthony Taylor not going to look to it. It was Baumgartner, my apologies. I don't think he's going to look to his pocket just yet as he goes to block the clearance, and instead he takes out Spinazzola. As Chris says, did his best, Alaba. Yeah, there's not much he could have done with the... and as you put there, yeah, tough to get it over the wall. I think we saw Xhaka very similar in the Switzerland game. He went low to try and beat the keeper. Maybe that was an option for him, to try and beat Donnarumma by going low rather than going over the crossbar, or maybe hoping to find a spot in the wall to get it through. But yeah, I think he did his best. He got it over, but it didn't quite dip in time. And when it's that close, it's almost too close for a free kick taker. Not in the perfect position for him. I think a couple yards further back, and that might be heading into the top corner. As we'll see Italy now, and they roll it one more to the left-hand side, and it's Insigne. He cuts back, draws it back inside to Spinazzola. It's a good block by Alexander Dragovic. And Chris has put, I always thought Italy had not been tested in this tournament. Maybe this is their first test. Well, they are struggling to break down the two bags of 10. And that back pass was going all the way in before Donnarumma intercepted. And it's not a great clearance from the AC Milan, maybe now PSG goalkeeper, but it's an attempt at a fancy flick, which in them positions is probably not wanted. But Italy look a little bit flustered, slightly flustered by this Austrian team, and they've earned a throw in Austria high up the pitch. And I feel like they've already had more of the ball than they did in the entirety of the first half. But a lot of players hands on knees, looking like they've run themselves into the ground. And there was calls for a foul throw there, but now Italy will come away. Good interception in the middle of the park from Sabitzer, and eventually Italy do get it away. And the ball's on the left-hand side. Insigne, I'm convinced he's offside, but now he's going to try and drill the ball to the back post. Alaba, safe as houses, puts it behind for a corner. I thought he was offside there, Insigne. He looked it anyway, but I think he was. I think he might have been offside. Maybe Alaba was keeping him on. But Chris did say, but it was 0-0 between Turkey and Italy at half-time, and look what happened. Yeah, Italy ended up dispatching Turkey in the end, and it's a weak ball across by Insigne. Alaba does the safe thing, no messing around, puts it behind for a corner, and Italy will have the set piece. And it's a ball into the middle of the box, and they do win the first header, but it's floated well over the crossbar as a nice embrace between Bonucci and Hinteregger, as I think it was Bonucci who got his head to it, but it was very much over the crossbar as Chris, but have Hull made any signings yet? We've made 4. We've made Randall Williams from Exeter, George Moncur on a free transfer, Andy Cannon on a free transfer from both Portsmouth and Luton, respectively. And yesterday we agreed the signing of, was it Nathan Baxter? The goalkeeper from Chelsea on loan. Most likely to be a number 2, but he was really good at Accrington last year. So they're the 4 signings we made. What about Carlisle? Have Carlisle made any signings yet, Chris? Because I know I was talking to Rowan, asked if Oldham had any people, like any rumours. There was no rumours, and then they signed 5 players at once, including Hallam Hope, who I obviously know from his time at Swindon. And he's kind of I don't want to say a journeyman striker of the lower leagues, but he's been around the lower leagues for a while, the Barbados international. As I've just seen someone in a Roman Spartan costume in the crowd at Wembley. Fair to say the Italian representative's going all out in this game. As Liner tries to knock a ball over the top, but it's another strong defensive performance from Austria. Yeah, let us know if your clubs have made any signings in the chat. And I'll tell you what, a bit of pace on the right-hand side by Conrad Lima. Fair play to him. But his ball into the box is shocking. And Donnarumma will try and get it clear, but it's out for a throw-in again for Austria. And Lima there, putting on the afterburners, knocked it past one, but his ball into the box was a bit rushed for my liking and a bit poor in general, but they can't make the most out of their throw-in. And now Austria, if it was a little bit better in the middle there, could have been picked apart, but Austria do win the ball high up the pitch. And already look a more attacking outlet than they did in the first half, as Hinteregger will go back to Bachmann, and he'll switch it to the right-hand side where Liner will just pour from him, to be honest. I really want to back him today as well, but As 3 signings for Carlisle: Tristan Abrams on Newport on a 2-year deal, Zach Clough from Wigan, yeah, I know Zach Clough, 2-year deal, and Corey Whelan on a 2-year deal from Wigan, all free transfers. So would you say good business so far from Carlisle? Do you think you're ready to make that playoff push? I hope we can stay in the league. That's my hopes and dreams. But we'll have to see as the. Actually, who did Carlisle get on the opening week, Chris? And who did you get in the Carabao Cup? Because I know they've been drawn recently, because we got Wigan in the Carabao Cup. And we've got Preston North End away in the first game of the season. But Berardi tried to go the long route round into the box. And we are at the hour mark now. And it was Barella, my apologies. As he tried to set the long route round to goal, went to put the cross in. And he dribbled it out of play in the end. But with an hour played, again, Austria keeping defensively solid, I've got to admit. As he says, yeah, I'm happy with the business so far. 2 or 3 more signings and we're good to go. And you're at home to Colchester in the first game. Should be good. Get off to a good start at home. That's what you want to be doing in the first game. And I think I agree. I'm happy. I want two or three more. Unfortunately, we missed out on Mendes Gomez. We missed out on Jack Marriott, which were two players which were linked to us. But we can't. We move on. We move on. And away to Sheffield United. Oh, unlucky. Good trip in the Carabao Cup though. Probably won't make it past the first round, but good effort. As Sabitzer gives away a foul on Di Lorenzo there, and Italy earn a set piece, and they've took it quickly, to be fair, and Hinteregger will watch it go through to Bachmann, who comes out and claims and keeps hold as well. And the ball is lashed out to Liner. And he says, all pressure on Sheffield United to win. They should win. Yeah, they should. I think they will. I'll be honest with you, Chris. It'd be surprising, and I will eat my words, but I think it depends how much they actually want to focus on the Carabao Cup, to be fair. And if they want to give players some minutes, because I'm pretty sure the Carabao Cup is very early on in the fixture. I think maybe one fixture in the league, and then one in the Carabao Cup's the next fixture. Because I know I think it was this season where the Johnston's Paint or the Carabao started before the season started, or before the first fixture of the season. Because I remember watching it in the house with the lads, because I purchased the fixtures. Bloody hell, I've just seen Sean. Northampton have made 7 signings. My God. As he says, Liam Roberts, Dylan Connolly, John Guthrie, Nicky Kabamba, Paul Lewis, Johnny Maxted, Mitch Pinnock, and Jordan Flores. Big up Flores from Hull City. You love to see it. As he didn't really get a chance with us. I hope he absolutely smashes it for you, Sean, mate. I'll be honest. As he says, Coventry away in round 1 of the Cup. That's a difficult game as well for Northampton. Coventry away did very well, I would say, in the Championship this season. As Austria have nicked the ball high, it's Arnautovic. He rolls it into the middle to Sabitzer, deflected shot, and it's a corner for Austria. Come on, Austria. As I'm trying to avoid bias, I really am, lads, but it's beating me at this point. As Sabitzer took fire from range, it was blocked well by Bonucci, and it was flying wide. Donnarumma did his best, but as he says, we be focused on trying to get promotion. That's the aim, yeah. Make sure you're in the playoffs. You want to get automatics, but obviously this year missing out on the playoffs. You want to take baby steps. Alaba's over the corner. And it's whipped into the middle. Donnarumma gets a punch to it. Xavi Schlager with an unbelievable acrobatic effort. It's cleared again. It's Schlager again. It's half volleyed. It's on the right-hand side, though. Shot near post. Gathered by Donnarumma. As he says, League Cup's not a priority. Of course not. Prize money is a bonus, though. That is true. Last year, we had a decent Carabao Cup run. We ended up, unfortunately, getting knocked out to West Ham. But we did knock out Leeds on the way, so come on, you all. Knocked out Leeds. I remember Malik Wilkes. We dominated that game as well. We conceded late on, but we won on pens. And I think if Rowan and Josh are in the building, they'll remember that game. Well, they might remember that game because we were in KD's room at the time. I can't remember where KD was. He might have been at work, but he said I could use his computer to watch the game. As it does appear to be 2 substitutes getting ready for Italy. One of them is Locatelli, who played the first two fixtures of the group stage. He's obviously got his brace earlier in the tournament. And I couldn't quite see who the second was. I'm not sure if it was Raspadori or not. But it'll be Roberto Mancini first look to his bench. As he puts EFL Trophy, we've got Hartlepool, Morecambe, and Everton under-21s. Oh, Everton under-21s, it's like a double rivalry for you, Chris. You've got Carlisle and Liverpool's rivals as well. As it's a terrible ball in the middle by Grilic, and this is a perfect opportunity for Italy to counter. Hinteregger, though, with a brilliant tackle. And the ball's out on the right-hand side. They've got a chance to get it in again. It's a good block. It falls to Insigne. That's going to be a foul. Surely, no, the referee doesn't give it. I thought that was going to be a foul. Maybe it was a dive in the end. A bit of simulation, possibly, from Insigne. But now, Austria's opportunity to get forward. Whether they do it in numbers or not, we'll yet to see. As Liner is on the right-hand side. I'm going to miss the... Well, I'm not going to miss the EFL Trophy. I'm glad we're not in it. I kind of wanted to win it. But like the first year we were in it. But Liner goes long. Back stick. Nodded on. Alaba. It's going to be. It's in. It's 1-0 Austria. They've done it. It's Marko Arnautovic. It was a ball that was headed across by David Alaba. And Marko Arnautovic heads home with the near post. It's 1-0 to Austria. They turn up for the box. It's happening. Come on. 1-0 to Austria. Can you believe it? It was a long switch. Alaba won the header. And then at the back post, it's Marko Arnautovic. Heads past Donnarumma. 1-0 to Austria. Italy, the team that have surprised everyone, are behind. It's absolutely wonderful. I'm sure VAR will check it, but Alaba wins the header. Oh no, he's offside. I think he's offside. Oh dear. I think he's offside. We'll get VAR, and I need another look at it. But why do I don't know. I just feel he's offside. It did come off the underside of the bar, though. Oh, I think it's offside. I need to... Oh, get me at lines, man. Oh. Can't deal with this emotional heartache. I think he's offside. I think he's off as well, Chris. Oh, the spirits have gone where the spirits are well and truly dashed. Oh, dear. I think he's off. We'll have to see. Goal check. For me, he's offside. But if he's not, and I'm blind, I'd much prefer it. As he says, get rid of VAR, hate the tension. I do, because I've just celebrated like a muppet for nothing if they haven't won. He's offside. Yeah, he's offside. It's the right decision. And unfortunately, for Austria, the joyous scenes of going 1-0 up, they are back to 0-0. And with them, they are no longer really. And I do think he's just offside. I think it is the right decision in the end. Thanks, Josh, for changing the scoreline, pal. I appreciate it massively. As my hopes and dreams were dashed. Well, they're coming forward again here. It's Sabitzer on the edge of the box. Or bore off. It's gone wide. Josh, if you are here, do you want to come in and talk about the goal? Sorry, I didn't invite you in after the last time, but if you are here, do come in and talk about it if you want to. It's up to you.
No, it's okay. I just came back upstairs. Right decision for me. I think it's a shame because your reaction was my Mane moment at the beginning of the season. I thought for a second that Austria had actually done it and we were going to get a moment where we were going to be calling this the football manager game, where it could end 1-0 at the end and maybe it was the only shot on target that Austria had. But after all of the celebrations Arnautovic did, the fact that he pretty much copied the celebration he did before and then it's flagged as offside makes it even more painful for him. But it's the right decision for me. And I tell you what, I think Austrian fans are probably thinking that might be one of the only chances they get in the game.
Yeah, I think that might be their one thing. So I don't know why. I'm getting, Hungary vibes where they took the lead against Portugal against all odds, and then it came back. I was very happy with that, but it doesn't. I don't know. We'll have to say thank you, Josh. I apologise. I was so happy.
No problem, lad. That 10 seconds of pure joy and jubilation.
We'll always have them 10 seconds. We'll always have them. Thanks, Josh. As I am emotionally drained because I thought Austria took the lead and they haven't. Marko Arnautovic, he is off. It's the right decision. It's an unfortunate one for me as I really want Austria to win this game. But it's joyous scenes for Italy. Oh, I thought Austria had really turned one up for the Bucks here, and they've gone long there, and they're all offside. But hopefully, instead of it being the turning point for Italy, maybe it can instill some confidence in Austria that they can get the ball in the back of the net against this Italy side, as Italy will be breathing a sigh of relief due to VAR's help there. But as I say, I hope it's not a Hungary situation and they go from being in the lead to distraught within a couple of minutes there as Javislaga gives away a foul. As 2 changes were made in the pandemonium, it was Matteo Pessina and Locatelli on. As at the commentary hub too, new name, same person though, it's Russ Vernon. Hi Russ, mate. I hope you're all right. New channel name, hope you're well. No, I hope you are well too. I like the new rebranding that you've gone with. Quick question. Where is the commentary hub 1? Because you are the commentary hub 2. But nice to see you, mate. You missed out on all the excitement when I thought Austria took the lead before it was ruled out for offside. As I am supporting England in this tournament, but Austria and Switzerland are my second and third kind of teams that I'm supporting. I need to do a DNA test. I need to find if I want to have some like Swiss descendancy or Austrian descendancy, either or. If anyone can get me a free trial on Ancestry, that'd be great. But as I say, nice to see you, the commentary hub. Or Russ, I can keep calling you Russ, whichever you'd prefer, my friend. But Italy now, it's a lovely roulette in the middle of the pitch, and it's freed up on the left-hand side for Locatelli. Cuts onto his right foot. He fires from distance, but it does go wide. Not as clinical as he was in the second game of the match day, where he got his brace, but a lovely bit of play in the midfield from Pessina. And then he sprayed it to the other substitute, Locatelli. And he says, I'm good, mate. If you search for the commentary on YouTube, you'll find the main channel. Ah, there we go. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. And he says, call us Ross. Yeah, it's easier. I was going to say we could shorten it to TCH if you want, but we could call you Ross. And also, I need to remember, though, for future reference, that when you come in, you are Ross from past streams. As Italy come forward, the ball's on the left. He cuts inside as Insigne. He chips towards the back post. It's actually way off target. Not a great game from Insigne at the moment, if I'm being 100% honest with you. As the ball was sprayed to him on the left, he did get in behind Liner, but he chipped it towards the back post. And I think he was trying to go over the top of Bachmann, maybe searching for that far left-hand corner. But he can only find the stands at that point. As Arnautovic, the man who thought he'd got his team ahead, would have been his second goal of the Euros, but unfortunately for him and me, heartbreak disallowed by VAR. And to the heartbreak of my voice, because now my voice is very sore because I thought we'd took the lead. And it is going to be a foul, though, and it is going to be a set piece. Sabitzer fouled. And I think credit to Austria, they've made this game extremely scrappy and extremely difficult for Italy, who surprised everyone. As Rowan says, come on, Austria. Yeah, we were excited for one moment when we took the lead, but besides that, we've been on the defensive. But we did have that one moment of glory when we scored. As he says, when you search the commentary hub, we're the one who has got 18 subs. Thank you very much. I'll have a look later for you, mate, after the stream, of course. As Alaba is on the set piece, this time it's headed. It is towards the back, but ref, that's got to be a pen. As Pessina does his defensive duties, and they're going to look at this at VAR as Liner has gone down under the challenge of Matteo Pessina. He comes around the back post. And, as much as I'd like to see it, I feel it'd be extremely soft anyway, to be honest with you. I feel that's just going to be a goal kick. There is it, to be fair, though, he has got his arm round his face. We don't know. I'm sure they're looking at VAR at the moment. I can't hear it because I've not got the sound on at the moment. But I tell you what, I will have a quick, if I can, I'll quickly put the sound on to see if I'm hearing anything from VAR. As it's Matteo Pessina's a substitute who had his arm round Stefan Leiner. Let's see if the commentator's telling me anything here. It was a ball whipped in from the subsequent free kick, and it's at the back post, and Pessina does have his arm around the face and neck of Stefan Leiner. This could go one or two ways for me. Offside. There was an offside in the build-up. So there you go. Either way, it wouldn't have counted anyway because there was an offside in the build-up. Both from possibly Hinteregger and Stefan Leiner, both offside from either touches of the ball. So I think that's another fair decision. But I tell you what, late in this game, as Carl says, well, look at that. It's not a pen. Yes, offside, but ball went out of play. Just play on with the goal kick. And yeah, that's what they've done in the end after this long, lengthy VAR check. But that's a second chance for Austria after having the ball in the back of the net and having shouts for a penalty. Unfortunately for them, neither have gone their way. And that's, as I said previously, them sorts of decisions need to be on your side when you're the team is on the back foot, which they had been for long periods of this game. But got to admit, in this second half, I think Austria have been much better. As Carl says, play on with the goal kick. Yeah, I agree. I think maybe it makes me think that it would have been a penalty had he not been offside. That's what it makes me think. But here we go. As the ball's back to Bachmann, he's going to go long at this time. Won't find anyone up the top end of the pitch, but I agree with you, Kyle. To be honest, just get on with it. But that makes me convinced that it would have been a penalty in the first place. But with 15 minutes to go, Austria are yet to turn to their bench. We said they've got an extremely defensive bench, and they do, but surprising the likes of Schopf or even one of the more defensive-minded substitutions haven't come on at any point as Stefan Leiner runs a throw-in as his clearance hits Spinazzola and goes out of play. And 30 minutes to go. Let me know what your thoughts are in the chat, but I think Austria played extremely well in this second half. And I think during the first half, the game plan has gone almost to perfection at the moment. If they had gone 1-0 up, this would have been the perfect game plan from them. As Arnautovic wins the header from a throw-in. And I've got to admit, Austria winning the ball, and it's over the top to Insigne. Bachmann decided to come and then stay at home, but I think the flag is up on the far side in the end. I was going to say, Bachmann caught in two minds, decided to come and then go back home, but Insigne, yeah, he's definitely offside. Was on his bike a little too early. I think he has the pace on the defenders, as they would say, so he could time his run a little bit better than that. But the ball is on the left now with Alaba. And unfortunately, that one will trickle out of play. But for what this game has lacked, in some I don't think it's been the most entertaining game, I would say. I think I agree with Josh's half-time assessment that it wasn't the most entertaining. I think Austria will be fine with that as they've nipped the ball back up high. It's a 4-on-4, and it's Baumgartner. He's going to go to the left. And it's unfortunately just all slowed down a little bit for Austria again. And it comes in field, but he's rolled his man. Another little roulette there, but he unfortunately it's a little bit too much in the end. And Italy come away, and now there's a real openness to this game, and he cuts inside, and it's defended well. And now it's Austria's turn to come forward again. Not coming with as much pace as Italy do. They're liking to slow it down and meticulous when they're looking for openings. And with 10 minutes to go, we may very well be seeing the extra time we thought we were going to, well, we hoped we were going to see, from my perspective anyway. As I'm just going to take the old earphones out to watch this game, because then I can put the phone on charge just in case it's required for the second half, for extra time. But we'll have to see. We're not there yet. There's Michael Brown. Hello, Michael Brown, my friend. I hope you're well. Do drop a sub if you're new. And here we go. He puts, I wish I could feel sorry for Wales going out, but I had neurotic scene after seeing the Welsh squad being filmed in their hotel celebrating wildly when Iceland knocked England out of the Euros. And I will stop because Iceland, Austria forward, not Iceland. You had me Iceland on the brain. As that'll be a corner for Austria. My apologies, sorry. When Iceland knocked England out of the Euros last 16. Yeah, this is our turn to get back at them, but only till Tuesday. Because if we go out on Tuesday, but nice to see you, Michael. If you are new, make sure to drop a like and subscribe and comment in the chat. Good to talk to you. But until Tuesday, I feel we can mock them. As Cal Italy dominated most of the ball, thought this would have gone one way, but Austria have been brilliant defensively. Italy have been disappointing. Still 1-0. Still 10 minutes to get my 4-0. It would have to be a hell of a breakdown as Liner goes back to Alaba, who chips towards the back post and goes over the top. And I think that'll go out of play more than likely. But I agree with you, Kyle. I think that Italy have had more of the ball, but Austria defensively have been brilliant. They've not really struggled to deal with the Immobile, Insigne, Berardi barrage that was part of the first half. Max says, hello. Nice to see you, my friend. I hope you're well. As Italy do come forward, and they do look like they're going to make 2 more subs as well. As I see Chiesa and Belotti both getting ready. And still no subs for Austria. And you've got to wonder if that'll play into the late in this game. There's been a lot of running for this Austrian side. They've had a lot of the game without the ball. And you do wonder whether that'll pay dividends in the end as there's a long ball that's going to be played back to Donnarumma. As Chris, our Carlisle fan base, never been excited about a signing for years, including myself, till we signed Zach Clough. Zach Clough is a very good player. I agree. He's the one out of the signings you mentioned earlier that I would be excited for if I was a Carlisle fan. I think he's a very good player. And especially for League Two, I think he should only go from strength to strength. And it's 2 years of him, so I hope you look forward to him as Liner's clearance is up and not quite out, but only for a throw-in. As I do wonder if Italy are going to make them subs sooner rather than later. It's Spinazzola who gets the throw-in. As Chris says, I remember him at Bolton, yeah. I do remember him more from his time at Wigan or Bolton. Maybe both, actually. Both Lancashire sides, as it's whipped out to the right-hand side. And now Italy, time's running out for them, but they've chipped it to the middle. It's a good header clear by Conrad Lima. The makeshift right mid / secondary right back, I would say, most times in this game, as it's chipped forward. Good header clear by Liner. And it's surely going to be a free kick. Anthony Taylor waves it away. For me, that's a free kick. And it's on the left with Spinazzola, who squares up Liner. Chip to the back post. Good attempt at a scissor kick. Crap execution, but good attempt by Domenico Berardi. As he says, treated awfully at Nottingham Forest. Now, that I do agree with. Even had non-Carlisle fans saying quality signing. Yeah, I'm a non-Carlisle fan, and he's the one that looks a quality signing for me, as Berardi's scissor kick comes off his knee. As Michael says, Austria were unlucky to lose to England in the friendly in Middlesbrough just before the Euros. No, I remember that game. It was 1-0 in the end to England. I think that was one where Saka scored, wasn't it? As Immobile comes off, he'll be a like-for-like swap with Andrea Belotti, the Torino forward. Immobile, unbelievable season in Serie A. Not had the greatest sights of goal in this game, besides the one he created for himself earlier. But we'll see if Andrea Belotti can come on and make the difference. Oh, I was meant to mute that until I opened my can. Anyway, as Domenico Berardi is replaced by Federico Chiesa with about 6 minutes to go, as Bachmann's going to be hunted down by the substitute. Plays a good ball into the middle, but he's been dispossessed. And it's through to Insigne. He plays it through. It's good defending. Just get it out, Austria. Thank you very much. As it's cleared out for a throw-in. And you have got him for 2 years. You have Chris, which, if he, explodes in his first year, you can either keep him and let his contract run out, or you can sell him, which is good. With the 1 year deals, either way, if they become amazing, you have to get rid of them, unfortunately. So there we go. That's the one thing you've got to worry about. As Spinazzola tries to get past Liner, it's good defending from the Gladbach fullback. And Lima, not many options in front of him, I've got to admit, for Austria at this point. I've got a feeling some of them players must be dead on their feet because they have put a shift in tonight, and it's David Alaba. He is fouled in the end, but he will play on. Sabitzer picking up that deeper kind of quarterback role, trying to pick passes for the rest of his team. As there's a bloody mini fly in my room that's getting in front of my face. But with 5 minutes to go, it is 0-0, and I don't think many people will have predicted this before this game got underway. I did, actually. I said 0-0 and Austria to win on pens, so fingers crossed. My belief in the team is not wavered just yet. As the ball, I think Austria could try and run down the clock, even with 5 minutes to go plus added time. I think they'll be more than happy to just keep a little bit of safe possession and keep Austria away. They've gone for the long switch there, and it'll be a bad header infield to David Alaba. He's got options in the box. He goes by himself, cuts it back onto his right foot. Shot from distance will go out for a throw-in. As Chris says, we have had departures. Omari Patrick's gone to Burton, Josh Coyote back to Rotherham. Josh will be happy. Nick Anderton to Bristol Rovers, and the two snakes, Paul Farman and Ofrande Zanzala, going to local rivals Barrow. Barrow, I think, they stayed in the league, didn't they? I can't remember. But if they did stay in the league anyway, they'll be back against you again next year. I can't remember who got relegated to the National League, actually. It's been that long since regular season football, but fingers crossed it's not too far away after these European Championships. As Austria look long, it's probably not the best option, but they had a chance there. And yes, stayed in the league. I thought they did. As I got to admit, there was a ball long, and Di Lorenzo's header put them in tons of danger. And Alaba had two options in the middle. One was Arnautovic, and I think the other was Baumgartner, but he didn't find either of them, and he cut back, and before he knew it, the chance was snuffed out by the Italy defence. And Italy now, with 3 minutes to go, can they make the fresher legs pay? And can they make the increased quality pay? Because again, it is 10 men behind the ball, all hands on the pump for Austria to keep this Italy team out, but they've managed a through ball. It's Belotti, squared across, good clearance by Hinteregger. Schlager will try and take the ball down, and I think he's gonna. I thought he was going to earn a foul, but unfortunately, it was just Italy coming away with the ball. Insigne goes forward, great diving header by Hinteregger, and fair play to the defenders today. They put a massive shift in. As trust me, if I was playing them against them two, I'll give them a warm welcome with a nice sliding challenge. But they clearly joined them to be in a relegation battle. Fair play to them. Maybe they're offering more money, Chris. I don't know. Maybe that was it, or maybe you just didn't want to keep them. I don't know. But as the ball is in Bachmann's hands, and he'll go for a long throw to try and release. I can't even see who that is, but he has gone down with an injury. And Italy will not play the ball out of play. Austrian fans, they don't have to. It's not a head injury. It's more than likely cramp or maybe a pulled muscle. As, Sabitzer, I think, rushes into a tackle there. Or Dragovic, sorry. Rushes into a tackle just to get some aid for his teammate. As Chris says, we've replaced him anyway. Yeah, don't worry about him now, Chris, mate. If you've replaced them, don't worry about them. They're in the past. As it's Baumgartner who has gone down with cramp. I thought it would be. As he wishes the other three players that have departed Carlisle the best. But not them two who've gone to local rivals. They can bugger off. As Grilic, it was a sloppy tackle on Jorginho. And I think it was probably just to get some help for his teammate. And probably some frustrations because Italy didn't play the ball out when they will have hoped they would. But there's surely going to be a substitute for Austria. And with 90 minutes played, they haven't made one yet. But here's the first one. Christopher Baumgartner will go off for Alex Schopf, who will enter the fray with 30 seconds to go of regular time and then additional time to come. It's Alessandro Soft. My apologies. I shortened it to Alex, but we'll go with Alessandro Schopf. in this game. But set piece for Italy, which was needless really from an Austria perspective. Grilic kind of firing himself into the back of Jorginho just to take him down. And we'll see with 15 seconds to go. Is Kieran L looking for a new keeper to replace Farm, and that's looking like our next signing. It'll be interesting to see where you go for that signing in the future. As Liner's going to go back to Bachmann. We'll now see how many added time. It's 5 minutes for Austria to hold on before we will see an extra 30 minutes. But they've got to see out this 5 minutes, and fair play to them. They've seen out 90, and it'll be heartbreaking for them to lose now. As Italy come forward, they're going to have to go back. As Michael's asked what team I support. I support Hull City, and it's a ball over the top, which has been found by Insigne. Insigne's gone out. I support Hull City, Michael, my friend. Who do you support? I think you might be able to see the scarf in the background. That's a Hull City scarf, Minnesota Vikings frame, San Antonio Spurs pendant. All me 3 teams in respective sport. I'm not really a San Antonio Spurs fan. I'll be honest, I bought that. If anything, I'm more of a Minnesota Timberwolves based on the Vikings. But Hull City, I know you can't see the scarf, but there it is. What about you, Michael, my friend? As Grilic has the ball deep, he's got to get rid of it soon, and he does. He plays it to the left where Hinteregger's waiting. It's going to go back to Bachmann. No mistakes now, and it's a poor clearance, but it's managed to find its way around Nautovic. It was low, it was flat, but it has made its way to a teammate, and that's all that matters. There's 1 minute and 20 seconds played, added on to the 90, and now Alaba can't keep it in play, and that's so unfortunate from an Austrian perspective. As Corey Whelan, too, used to play for Liverpool's under-21. Now he's playing for Carlisle. You love to see it, especially when you link the 2 teams together. As Michael says, Leeds United, Leeds is my team. Good to see Hull City back in the Championship this season. Thank you, my friend. Good to see you have a good first year in the Premier League as well. Very impressive. I know you surprised a lot of people with your style of play and your end-of-table position. You are in for one of my favoured players in the world as well. Matheus Cunha. Take care of him if he comes. I love Matheus Cunha. Please treat him well. As he's been linked with a move to Leeds United next season. But thank you, Michael. That's very nice of you to say. I know some Yorkshire teams, Leeds, Hull, we all nag at each other, when they're doing bad, and we like to laugh at failure. Mostly us recently, to be honest with you, with the way we've been going. But good to see you've had a good year, my friend. And if you do get Matheus Cunha, I wish him nothing but the best, because I love him. I think he's brilliant. As we are halfway into the additional time, and the long ball is intercepted, but Austria can recycle it back to Bachmann. And the nerves are jangling, I'll be honest. As Arnautovic nods it on to Alessandro Shop, but they won't reach it. And now there's 2 men out of play. Insigne on the left. Back to Locatelli. Fair play to Austria, back in their shape quickly. But Italy knocking it round. Pedestrian-like pace at the moment. You thought they need to speed it up with only a couple of minutes to go, and now they're happening. A lot of pass and move, and the ref has given a free kick right on the edge of the box by Martin Hinteregger. And I'm just hoping this isn't in the box. They finally speed it up a little bit. And to be honest, I think it's Arnautovic in the end who gives away the free kick. It's unbelievably soft from Anthony Taylor. And if this comes back to bite Austria, I don't want it to, because it's an extremely soft decision from Anthony Taylor. But it is a free kick on the edge of the box. It's Insigne standing over it. And this probably will be the final act of the game for either side. As there's 45 seconds to go, Insigne stands over the free kick that was given just on the edge of the box. So soft, ref. Seriously, Anthony Taylor. Rigged. As we'll see what comes of it, though, with 30 seconds. It definitely will be, I believe, the last act of the game. Insigne chips it in. It's at the back post. It's headed clear by Stefan Leiner. There'll be another throw-in, sorry. Michael, I'll get to your comment in just a minute when the game finishes, my friend. As we do have Malik Wilks. Bloody brilliant is Malik Wilks. He had times at Doncaster, Barnsley, Leeds. Brilliant player. And did Cunha play for Hull? No, he plays for Hertha Berlin in Germany. But he is one of my favourite players. As the ball is cleared, and surely that brings an end, and we're going to the first dose of extra time of the tournament. As Chris says, long watch along. I didn't realise I'd be working nights. Josh, it's been 90 minutes. I've got to nip to the loo. Will you come in and assess the game, please?
The graveyard shift begins. Well, that is full time in the match, 0-0. On what was a game which first half I think was all, we said wasn't the greatest first half in the world. Second half much better, and I will give credit to Austria because I think even they saw a sense in this game that it could be there for them, and that is a big credit to Austria because I thought today was going to be a really hard fought game. I thought if anybody was going to win it, it was going to be by a goal, and we're now sat here going to extra time, and it's looking like that could be the case. And I've got to say, Italy, very disappointed today. I haven't been able to break them down. Whether they do with the extra half an hour to come and the tiredness starts to kick in, we'll have to see. But in terms of the actual match itself, do tell us what you think in the chat, because credit to Austria. I think we all said at the beginning, a lot of people were expecting Italy to go out there and beat them quite comfortably, to be honest. They are the favourites, I guess you could say, so far in the tournament for how they've played. And Austria, they came with game plan to sit, defend, hold, and they have done brilliantly well. And now Mancini's side, and of course Austria themselves, have got half an hour to see if they can break the deadlock in this game. And when you look at the stats of the match, it kind of tells you a story, doesn't it? 18 shots for Italy, 2 on target. Austria, 9 shots and 1 on target. And Italy, good sign for Austria and a good sign for Kieran as well. Italy, they've been in 7 games that have gone to extra time. They have never scored, ever, in extra time.
Well,
is this going to be the first time they do it?
I was going to say,
extra time and maybe a bit of pens.
Josh, I appreciate you coming in with the stats, but please, because the commentators curse. Commentators curse in that one, but no. I think I've got to credit to Austria. They put in a real good defensive shift in that 90 minutes. I do think Italy have been quite poor overall. Yeah. I don't know about you. I don't think they've been the same team they were in the opening couple of fixtures. But when they have come forward, I still think they'll worry Austria a little bit. But 30 more minutes of this. Oh, God.
I think as well, obviously I was saying before you gone, I think Austria did actually feel like they could take it. That last 10 or 15 minutes, they went for it rather than sitting back, which surprised me a little bit because I thought the game plan was just going to be sit back, defend, and we'll defend until we can basically go to pens. But they went for it. They had the chances. On Arnautovic obviously scored, was disallowed, and unfortunately, rightly so. But I think they played very, very well. And they'll have surprised a lot of people here, Austria. Just again, the problem that they've got, we can keep saying it till the sun goes down, but it's the fact that they do lack somebody up top who can put the ball in the back of the net. And I'll give credit, I think, on Arnautovic, we said at half-time the risk of him maybe getting sent off was there, but I think he's played brilliantly well in this game. Yeah. He's just not been able to, and he has already, but he just hasn't been able to put the ball in the back of the net without it being offside. Yeah, and I wonder if Kalajic will come on at some point in this game because maybe they start to think about either A, penalty takers, or B, do they sense that they can take it in extra time?
Yeah, it will be an interesting one. I do agree with you. To be fair, when Arnautovic has had the ball into him and he's had no support, he's done very well to hold and wait for other players to come in. You know, I remember that time in the first half where he was cutting left, cutting right, waiting for some help. He eventually took the shot on by himself, but he allowed players to make runs from midfield because they're sitting so deep, he has to wait for any other side of sport, and he has had to do most of it by himself. But as you say, I think either way, I think this has been an unbelievable performance from Austria defensively. And I agree. I think in the second half, I've got to admit, I think they were maybe even the better side in that second half for large periods.
Yeah, and I think obviously there's still a long way to go. Half an hour is a long time in football. It's nearly
Oh.
another pretty much full half of a game, but anything can happen here. And if Austria do go out there and somehow get something in this game, we're going to have the first big shock of the tournament. And for all the praise that we gave Italy in the group stages of how well they played, they looked like the best team. Once again, it proves, in my opinion, that we haven't actually seen the best in any of the big sides in this tournament. They've all equally had as bad spells as each other. And unfortunately for Italy, they're having the bad spell at arguably the worst time you could possibly have it, because Austria here, I think as the game goes on, will feel like they can take it. And if they do, then fair play to them. It opens the door for the rest of the round of 16 for other teams like the Czech Republic, for both Sweden and Ukraine, to sit there and think, well, if Austria can do it, so can we.
Yeah, I do worry about the lack of subs that they've made. We already saw Baumgartner, they were forced into that change because of a sub. But I do worry that late in this game, they will get tired. They might make a few mistakes. But we'll see if they can ride the 30-minute wave as extra time begins. I'm honoured to have the first shift of extra time, Josh. And I did get the score right. It is 0-0. All I need is Austria on pens, and I should have put a bet on.
You should have. And I obviously said 1-0 Italy. Still a chance of that.
Yeah.
Obviously, it didn't happen in extra in the first 90 minutes as such. But I wonder if, as well, going back to your point on the substitutions, I wonder if they're just holding off here. Maybe give it about 5 or 10 minutes of this extra time period, and then they go and make the changes, because I can see them, obviously, in terms of how many changes they've made. They've literally made one. So they've got 4 changes they could make. So I wonder if, as I said, the manager at some point may start to go to players and say, right, we've got 10 or 15 minutes left of this game. Which one of you feel like, A, you're ready to take a penalty and you feel confident enough to step up if needed? Or B, whether he looks at it and goes, right, we've got 15 minutes left. I've got a bad sense in my head, right? I've got very bad Japan v Belgium vibes.
No.
They try to sense that they go for it and they give the ball away and Italy take a chance. I don't want it to happen, and I thought it was when Alaba had the chance and he gave the ball away. I thought we were going to have an opportunity for Italy to break, but I just think here, they don't want to get too focused in the game and the fact that they need to go out there and get a goal. I think the best thing for them is take them to penalties, because I don't think Italy would have expected that. And it might just leave those players on the pitch feeling a bit weary. Do you know what I mean? And that could work into Austria's hands, because I think they've got good enough penalty takers like Sabitzer and Alaba who will be confident enough to step up. And maybe they could go for on pens, and Kieran will be having a party in his room tonight.
Yeah, it's fair to say Arnautovic has never been short on confidence either.
No, definitely not.
Hopefully so. Thanks, Josh. I'll see you at half-time of extra time. Luckily, when I'm on, I drag someone in case of technical difficulties, so I get to have someone to communicate with for these longer shifts, which was not expected in this game. I don't think anyone will have expected it, but we're here, and it's 0-0. And I think a lot of people will have, as Josh said, a newfound respect for Austria. I'd like to turn on the power saving mode, if that's possible. Oh dear. Am I still here? I should be still here, thank God. I was going to say I tried to turn on power saving mode. Don't think it worked. I just realised I'm the wrong way around on the screen. There we go, I'm back. For a minute, I was looking at the game sideways. As Di Lorenzo goes down under a tired challenge from Javi Schlager, as Chris says, I still expect Italy to win. I think most people do, my friend. I think they will still be the favourites for this game. But I do think the shift that Austria put in should not go unnoticed in this one. The ball goes long. And it will be a long half an hour for Austria. I do fully expect that to be the case. And as I say, they've still got 4 subs they can make. So maybe if they are unfortunate and they do go behind, they might do it here as the ball's on the right-hand side. Shot across keeper. Well saved, Bachmann. And he'll keep hold of that. It was a shot from Chiesa. I think if you have got 4 subs, if they are unfortunate and they do go one behind, you never know. As Rowan has come in and hello, my friend. I hope you're all right. But if Austria knock Italy out, if there's still a long time to go. Switzerland beat France. Right, yes. We could have a low-key underdog bracket on that side. Yeah, you're not wrong. I think it ups. I think the odds makers will put Belgium's chances through the roof. But yeah, you're not wrong in that sense, my friend. As the ball is played forward, chipped over to the back where Chiesa's waiting. It's a poor touch. He chops it back down and it's in. And it's a wonderful goal by Italy. And Federico Chiesa, their talent has finally paid dividends. It's a long ball to the back. I thought it was a poor touch in the end. He knocked it back onto his left and fired it across the goalkeeper. It's 1-0 Italy. I don't think there'll be any VAR checks on this one. And it's took them 95 minutes, well, plus added time, probably around 100. But Italy are in the lead in this one after 5 minutes of extra time. And that, it's just really harsh on Austria. They put in a hell of a shift. And Federico Chiesa has opened the scoring. It's a good ball to the back post, I've got to admit. A poor headed touch first, but he does well to shift it onto his left. Brilliant volley finish. As Rowan, yeah, you came in, you jinxed it. Thanks, friend. As Chiesa volleys across goal with his left, Bachmann can't do anything. 1-0 Italy. And I would say, more than likely, game over. Really good play from the substitute. And that's what happens when you have talent on the bench to bring off. Italy open the scoring 5 minutes into added time. It's going to be an even longer 25 minutes for Austria. They need a Hungary-esque comeback now. And I don't know what Italy player's gone down there from a bit of pressure by Stefan Leiner, but what's going on? As there will be a substitute, Austria will finally look to their bench. Because it was a sub that opened the scoring in Federico Chiesa. Maybe Austria think they could do the same. Arnautovic is coming off for Sasha Kalajic of Stuttgart, the big 6'6" forward. He's not had the tournament he would have liked so far. This would be a time for him to come on and make all the difference as Liner's going to look for the long ball into the box. See, that's what Kalajic will bring, an aerial threat. I would expect to see more crosses into the box by Austria to try and get through to Sasha Kalajic in this added time period, or extra time period, my apologies. But you are a little bit cautious that the floodgates are going to open for Austria now. Oh, it's so heartbreaking. From 1 minute thinking they had the lead in the second half to Federico Chiesa half volleying it into the far corner, and it's a brilliant, brilliant goal again by Chiesa. Not much Bachmann could do, but the subs making all the difference for Italy. And as Chris said earlier, this has been their first test. They may well be passing it now. We are halfway through the first half of added time, and we'll have to see if Austria... The thing is, most of the players look dead on the feet, and a lack of substitutions, attacking substitutions that they can make, I think will come back to bite them in the end. Be it either because of injury or tactical reasons, but Alaba intercepts well, and he gives the ball away there. But job to do now for Austria. They will have expected, a lot of people will have expected them to be 1-0 behind a lot earlier in this game, but they've made it through nearly 100 minutes of football, but unfortunately talent has come through. But Xavi Schlager rolls his man well. There's a man left and there's a man right. He goes to the man to the right. It's Kalajic. And Donnarumma gets it clear. And this is better from Austria. Spinazzola does well on the cover. Schlager did really well. Rolls his man in the middle fantastically well. As they're going to go for a switch ball, Liner wins the first header. It does come down and he lashes it over the top of the crossbar. It's rushed from Liner. As we reach the 9-minute mark, I think, of added time. As they're just looking, Alaba gets completely sucked in by the crossfield run on the left-hand side, and it allows Chiesa to be in so much space. And heartbreak for Austria. I've got to admit, though, it's great movement. The diagonal run, I couldn't see who it was by. Maybe it was by Insigne or someone of that manner. Makes a crossfield run, and Alaba follows the run rather than handing it off to his centre-backs. And it just allows Chiesa to have acres of space to run into. And even though he took a difficult first touch on his head, cuts it back onto his left foot and hammers it past the goalkeeper well. As we do love Austria, Rowan. We do love Austria. They've tried really hard today, and unfortunately, they might have felt the final hurdle. But we do love Austria. Fans look heartbroken, but you never know. As the ball forward just goes straight through to Donnarumma. Oh, and the spirits are shattered in this room right now. I'll be honest, lads. The spirits are shattered. We'll have to see. With 10 minutes to go. 10 minutes to go, 10 minutes played. And now it's Italy's turn to run down the clock. And Donnarumma taking a lot of time over that goal kick. And the referee finally blows up there as Russ hopes Italy win because he hates Arnautovic. That's fair, my friend. I'm just proud that Austria have made it this far, to be honest with you. Getting Italy all the way to extra time. They were not favoured in this one. But they've done very well. But there is still time. We're not out of it yet. There is still time. Not a lot of it, admittedly. But there is some time as Schlager picks it up in the midfield and he goes back to his the centre-backs of Hinteregger, who's put in a brilliant performance today. And it's Schlager again. I think with Kalajic coming on, you just need to get balls into the box for him to try and get on the end of. And Alaba does get the ball left to Lima. It's going to be back to Grilic, and he'll look for that long ball into the box. It's towards the back post, and Donnarumma's there. Unbelievable goalkeeper. Comes out and claims the cross and calms everything down for Austria. And I think lack of depth might be their kryptonite tonight, unfortunately. Because all the players that Italy can bring on, Austria can't bring on the same quality, unfortunately. But, as I say, hopefully the fans that maybe made the travel to London are still in some high spirits with just over 20 minutes of the game left, including added time. Not including added time, sorry. As Alaba looks to the box, Sasha Kalajic does get wrong side of his man. A little bit better. But it can be mopped up by Di Lorenzo. Velotti, unfortunately, cannot keep the ball in play. As I'm worried that this is going to fall here. It won't. Good save. The ball's dispossessed, and Italy, long ball forward, and now they are breaking through. It is a 3-on-2. Insigne to the left, Belotti down the middle. Tactical foul by Hinteregger. And it's the right thing to do. It was Belotti down the middle, Insigne at the left, Chiesa at the right, and Hinteregger just had to take Belotti down to stop any chance of a counter and killing this game. Smart from the Frankfurt man. But it will be a free kick for Italy. I'm trying to see who stood over it at this current moment. I think Chiesa's one of them. I think Insigne is the other. I think they might have left it for Insigne in the end. As Bachmann tries to sort out as well. Yeah, he has left it for Insigne in the end. I'm just looking at Chiellini. Obviously, he's going to miss out maybe the rest of the tournament with the injury. Not sure. I've not been confirmed. As there is a wall behind the Austrian wall and a wall in front of the Austrian wall by Italy. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be a shot from Insigne. As the other wall rushes forward, it'd be a hell of a strike. It's a hell of a strike and a hell of a save from Daniel Bachmann. That was going into the top corner. Bachmann does really well to get across and make that save. It goes over the head of Schlager. A really good save from Bachmann. Really good save from the Austrian goalkeeper. Insigne must have thought he'd scored one of the goals of the tournament. He'll never be goal of the tournament, thanks to Patrick Schick, but a hell of a free kick from Insigne. He's now over to take the corner, and Kalajic is back there doing his defensive duty, all 6'6" of him, as Italy will try and recycle the ball and go back to the left-hand side where Insigne, who took the corner, is waiting. He takes it down with a deft touch. It's drilled in. It's good defending by Austria. It's a dead ball, and it's in, and it's 2-0. And it's just a lack of clearing the lines from Austria. And Matteo Pessina has put Italy into the next round. And Austria, who held out for 90, have conceded 2 in added time. And it is just really harsh at this point. The ball's drilled into the box. Belotti tries to turn. It's a lack of clearing the lines from Austria. They get in front of the shot, but they just can't get it clear. There's people all over the floor. And Matteo Pessina just lashes it in. And Italy make it 2 in added time. And Matteo Pessina gets his second of the tournament. Really unfortunate from an Austrian point of view. They do get men around the ball, but they just can't get their lines cleared. And Matteo Pessina gets the loose ball, hits it across Bachmann and into the back of the net. Austria's defensive wall has crumbled. And that is the game. I think I agree. I think that is the game now to Italy. And unfortunately, that be the way it is, as Italy make it 2-0 in added time through Matteo Pessina with his second goal of the tournament. Pretty sure the ref will blow his whistle for the second half of added time to be concluded. As I can see the face of Marko Arnautovic looks dejected. And unfortunately, that is probably the feeling as the ref brings a close to the first half of added time. Josh, feel free to come back in, my friend. And as Italy's quality and fresh legs kind of made a difference, really, in the second half of added time.
It was expected. It was very expected. And I think, to be fair, we knew eventually Italy were going to score. They've got it now. They're pretty much going to go through. Kyle, your 4-0 prediction's still on, because the risk now here for Austria is that in this next 15 minutes, Mancini just says, just go for it, see if you can put a few more past them. And then a game which we were sat here with 90 minutes at 0-0 could turn into a comprehensive victory with 4 goals, or 2 at the very least right now in the space of 30 minutes. And obviously for Austria, all they can do now is hope that they get 1 back somehow, I don't know how, and that'll bring them some confidence. But at the same time, in the back of their heads, they're going to be thinking to themselves that this game is done and dusted, that they're out of this competition, and that they should just focus on whatever fixture that they've got next in the World Cup qualifiers. But yeah, it's looking all done and dusted here, and it's going to require a miracle from Austria to get something back in this game. I think maybe set pieces is probably something they could get some on. Obviously, they've got Kalajic, somebody's quite tall, but I just don't see them having many chances. I see Italy scoring 1 or 2 more maybe before the end of the game.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think Austria look really tired during this second half. And I think they'll push more men forward, which will probably open gaps up in the defence. But yeah, you're right, it was expected, but credit to Austria for taking it this far. Getting it 0-0 at full time was a result that not many people expected. And unfortunately, quality does pay dividends in the end, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You're not wrong. You know, they've got quality players that can bring on Italy, and they've done that. Obviously, Chiesa and Pessina both substitutes. Very good finish from Chiesa as well. That goal, it was absolutely spectacular finish in the end, especially with the awkward first touch that he had to get. And no doubt, I think we'll probably see them use the last of the substitutions, Austria, and see if they can push for it. But they're going to have to get something in very quick because 15 minutes is a short time in football.
Yeah, I think we would be looking at, an absolute miracle. It'd be nothing short of. It's up there with splitting the Red Sea, Josh. It's up there, in terms of miracles. This would be water into wine stuff as Schaub and Gregoritsch come on. Thank you, Josh.
No problem.
I said coming at 4-0, I was very proud up until the 95th minute, but I still am of this Austrian team. And thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you at full time, where I will hopefully not be dejected. But ball on the edge of the box, last and goal! Good save by Donnarumma, and that's what they needed to go in. They needed a chance like that to go in, and unfortunately for them, Donnarumma is just too good. It's a brilliant save from the possible new PSG man, diving to his left, palming it away from the half volley on the edge of the box. But this is it for Austria now. If you're going to lose by 2, you might as well lose by 5 or 4 and just push everyone forward. Oh no, I take it back. Italy are coming forward. They've gone for a crossfield ball. It's taken down. Crap shot. Come on. What a save from Rowan. Rowan says in the chat, and yeah, it's an absolutely brilliant save from Gianluigi Donnarumma. It's a half volley on the edge of the box, which is lashed at towards goal, and it's saved well to his left by Donnarumma. But hopefully that gives Austria a little bit of confidence to push a few men forward and hopefully cause this Italy team a few problems. But I think they needed that to go in. I really do. I think we'll have any chance in this game because, as we said, 15 minutes, not a long time, as Liner looks for the crossfield ball. Donnarumma, it's not a foul. How is that a foul? How? As Donnarumma comes out to catch it and just drops it, it's not a foul. Frustration's getting the better of me. At this point, this is a lovely hit from Schaub and a brilliant save by Donnarumma. And then a cross came in, and I've got to admit, I think it was just some bad goalkeeping from Donnarumma, if I'm being honest. He comes to claim the cross, drops it. But Insigne is being replaced by Brian Cristante, a man who's filled in at centre-back for Roma at long periods this season, and will take the CDM role as well. Depends where he wants to line up for this Italy side. But we'll have to see. As I'm hoping that was offside and not a foul, because it was never a foul. As Donnarumma, I feel like Robbie Savage earlier today. Now I understand how he feels. And it will be offside for Italy on this occasion. And time's ticking out, but what a chance by Schaub to make his impact on the game and really give Austria half a chance to get back into this fixture, because we said earlier they need to get a goal and quick. They almost had it for a brilliant half volley, and it would have been another, as I said previously, a possible goal of the tournament candidate if it wasn't for Patrick Schick. But Kalajic has dropped deep now, and it's a chance for him to drive at the player with the ball at his feet. It's freed up to the right-hand side. It's into the feet of Kalajic. Does well. Going all cliche. Good feet for a big man. As it all comes to a bit of a standstill at the edge of the box, though, and they'll have to play it backwards. Rolled again. Sabitzer on the edge of the box. It's good defending by Italy. Oh, I'm tearing my hair out as they come forward now. And it's a foot race. And it's just one big sprint forward, and he's keeping going now. Shoots at goal. It's a terrible shot in the end. He did all the hard work. Did Di Lorenzo, but he's been on the pitch the whole 90 minutes. Plus added time, so he was probably a bit knackered come the end of that run. A long busting run to end it. But he'll have to get back in position as Alaba finds it. He's chipped his ball into the middle. It's a poor one in the end. But I thought I got out of play. Yeah, as now. As there's already a really good tempo to this this extra time second half. God, I could get my words out. But now it's Italy, and it's a 3-on-2 becoming a 4 because the man on the left is breaking his neck. It's over to the right. Chip towards the middle of the box. Come on, Bachmann. Well done, mate. Good catch from Bachmann. And everyone's back for for Austria. I'd just keep everyone forward. Screw it. Just lose by 5. Why not? But there is only 10 minutes to go now, and that few missed opportunities from Austria. Headed on though by Kalajic. Cuts inside by Gregoric. Chip to the back post. It's Biskit. Get it in! No! Sabitzer has to do better. Oh. The ball was chipped to him at the back post by Gregoric. He has to volley. He mistimes it, and then he has just a lash at goal with his left foot. And Sabitzer has to do better. That's 2 golden opportunities for Austria in this second half of extra time. And we said earlier, these sorts of chances need to go in. And unfortunately, they've not in this second half of extra time. As Italy win the ball back, it's going to be a foul. It's such a stupid tackle by Konrad Laimer to make. Oh, and Austria, we said they needed some big opportunities in this second half. And from Marcel Sabitzer and Lois Schaub, they've had 2 which could have got them back into the game. And that is the difference in quality. As I did see, by the way, Michael did put, how do I think Hull fare in the Championship? Sorry it took me this long to get to your point. I'd like us to see us finish mid-table. I think that would be a nice first year back. Back in the big time, if you want to call the Championship the big time. There's 9 minutes to go. Oh. It's a free kick. This time, Insigne not on the pitch to take it. It'll be Belotti. And he tries to go through the wall. Unfortunately, it's a good wall from Austria, and they've nicked the ball back. Come on, lads. Freed on the left-hand side. It's Alaba. He's in a foot race. It's a brilliant tackle. Can't complain. Andrea Belotti did really well there. But, Alaba has gone down with an injury. I'm presuming again, more than likely cramp. But fair play to Belotti. Misplaced his free kick. And then there appears to be some more subs for Austria getting ready. Ball deep. Kalajic nods it on. It's fell on the volley and it's over the top of the crossbar. It's going to be a corner. Come on, ref. And I think it's corner. It fell again to Schaub, who his best chances have come on the volley. He did. He hit it at Spinazzola and it came off the top of the Roma left mid / left back's head. And Il Sanka is on, a bit more height. He's coming on for Konrad Laimer. And I'm not sure if there was a second change queued for Austria or not. And there is. And this will be Trimmel coming on for Stefan Leiner, who will get a round of applause from me because he's my right back. As Schaub goes over to take the corner. It's kind of now or never for Austria. Oh, it's a poor corner. The near ball, but it's in! It's gone through everybody, and it's in the back of the net. Sasha Kalajic, 2-1, game on, let's go. It looked a poor corner. It went to the near post. There was nobody there, and he's in the back of the net. I saw Donnarumma palming at it, and it's into the back of the net. Did Sasha Kalajic get the final touch? I'll have to see. It looked a really bad corner at first. He does. He gets a diving header at the near post. That is brilliant from Sasha Kalajic. He's got 4 men around him and he heads it in at the near. That's fantastic centre forward play. Brilliant diving header at the near post. As Rowan says, wants to watch it. It has took 3 match days, but his wants to watch has shown up. And who'd have thought this? It's 2-1. And now Austria have given themselves a fighting chance. Ball on the right-hand side. Maybe this was just a tactical masterclass from the manager. Go 2-0 behind and then make all your subs. Why? What a header by Sasha Kalajic. It's unbelievable centre-forward play. He had a man holding onto his shirt, 4 around him, nods it in at the near post. And they'll start to believe, as Kalajic wins the header, it's cleared by Bonucci. It's up, not away, as it's a poor touch from... I'll tell you what, fair play to, I think, Ilsanker, who keeps the ball in there, is Sasha Kalajic. First goal of the tournament. Is it too late? We don't know. But I thought that was a terrible corner. It was low, but Kalajic made do with what he had and nodded it in at the near post and put Austria back in the game. And they have a little bit of hope. And I said to Josh before the game about the Switzerland one, I feel like Hawkeye and the Avengers, don't give me hope. That's what they're doing at this point because they have 3.5 minutes to try and get back in this game. Oh, this has come to life with 30 minutes, hasn't it? 90 minutes of pretty dull affair. And then 30 minutes of hell for leather action. As Alaba gets his header on a long ball. You would worry, though, that one more for Italy does kill it, but Austria won't be worried as the ball's back to Bachmann. Time is running out. Just having a look, sorry, 4 minutes to go. My apologies. As I will say, since coming on, the subs have made a difference for Austria. And ref, that's never a foul. Why are English refs so crap? As Ilsanker knocks down Belotti. Oh, my heart's gone in this one, lads, I'll be honest with you. I can't deal with this sort of stress on a weekly basis. As I'll just try and get the game up on my TV. We'll have to see what's happening here. Let me go back on this now. It's a little bit of head tennis in the middle of the park. Time ever so slightly running out for Austria, but Italy have it in the attacking third. They're going to the corner flag, or Belotti is anyway. He's done really well. He's gone down, but there's no foul by the assistant. And now Austria could come away, but the pass is so wayward and out of play, unfortunately. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left, not included added time in this one, is what's left. As the ball is thrown out by Italy, and Bachmann will take the goal kick. Talk about a valiant effort. This would be borderline heroic. Oh, as the ball is long, it will probably be resorting to this. First header won. Kalajic's chest. It's not the greatest chest. Taken down on the volley, and unfortunately, it will go behind by Gregoric. And I'm not sure if it came off a deflection. I don't think it did. I'm not convinced by the claims. No, I don't think so. And it'll be a goal kick to Italy. Was that the final opportunity of the game for Austria? You hope not. 1.5 minutes, though, plus the added time. Oh, make added time fun. Whack 5 on. I could watch this. I could watch this added time period all day. As the ball is long by Donnarumma. Italy win the first header. They don't win the second. And it's lashed forward by Austria. The ball's back to Donnarumma. Whacked into the middle of the park. Belotti climbs highest. He's done very well there. And they are going to shoot for the corner. Bachmann's got to come out and claim it. It's over the top of Bachmann. Get back! Clear it! Come on! It's still 2-1. It was heading towards the back of the net. It's a brilliant bit of defending. I think by Trimmel in the end, who followed it all the way. And the ball is on the right now. With Austria, 40 seconds to go. Well played, Christopher Trimmel, to get that. Bachmann came out and it was chipped over him. And then Trimmel did really well get back and clear it off the line, and that's a poor final ball by Italy, and it is a 3-on-1. And this could kill it. He's going wide, and it's brilliant strength from Martin Hinteregger. Chiesa goes down. The man who opened the scoring, it's good strength though from him. Kalajic doesn't win the first header. David Alaba's going to let the ball drop. 15 seconds left, and we're waiting for added time. Oh, that's poor from David Alaba. That's so poor. You're an experienced player. You can't do that. He's stopped a counter-attack. Such a needless foul from David Alaba, the most experienced player. And we'll see how many minutes are added on. I can't see at the moment. As Raspadori is getting ready to come on, I would like them to tell me how long's added on. That would be great. Or if there's no minutes added on, then that's just a shame. Because I would like to see a little bit more. 1 minute. Oh, don't get me started. 1 minute. As it looks like it's going to be enough. Dragovic is yellow carded. Donnarumma goes long. It'll probably go all the way out to the other end. It's Bachmann now. Time really ticking. I will say there was 30 seconds taken over that free kick. I'd like that to be added on, referee, if possible. Oh, they've won the knock-on. Spinazzola to get it clear. They've won the header. It's going to drop down. It's knocked on. And I think it's going to be it now. I think cleared by the ref. And the ref blows full time on an unbelievably valiant performance from Austria. Italy get the better of them in the end with 2 first half added time goals. Austria, it's a shame it took them till the second half to really wake up. They made it nervy for Mancini's side. But Italy continue their competition, and they set themselves a date with Belgium or Portugal in the next round. But fair play to Austria. Unbelievably valiant from them. Josh, it would have been nice to just see a little bit longer of that added time. I think that was really entertaining.
It was, yeah. I think it's one of the most enjoyable 30 minutes of extra time I think we've had in quite some time. Very end-to-end, as we expected. We got a goal maybe a little bit too late. I think had that goal gone in the first 30 seconds of extra time, it could have been a very, very different situation in the match. But I think this proves why golden goal was got rid of all those years ago when we used to have the days of the golden goal. I think it does allow opportunities for teams to come back, and very nearly Austria did. I thought Chiesa's goal, as we said at the start, fantastic finish from an awkward first touch, a player with real star quality. Second goal, Pessina was another decent finish. Could have been defended better, but we've tired legs, you'd expect, of course. A little bit more bit more lack of effort in terms of defending because of the tired legs. And then the goal from Kalajic was a good piece of gambling at the near post from a player who knows how to put headers in the back of the net with his height. And it was a good effort, and I thought very valiant from Austria. They tried the hardest to get something in the game, and they go out of the tournament with what has got to be probably, you could say, one of the best performances they've had. The Ukraine game might be the standout one, but I think you could say this one is a standout as well. The fact that they took a team like Italy till the very depth of the match to extra time. That's a big credit to them. Massive credit.
Yeah, I think this is probably their best performance. Such a shame that first goal comes from Alaba getting dragged in by Pessina, and unfortunately Kess finishes. But yeah, it's been a long day. It's been a long night, I should say. What's coming up on the channel, Josh?
We got quite a bit. As I said, Italy, Austria, all done now. That is all done and dusted for today. Lots of action still to come on the channel, including our next game, which is tomorrow. Netherlands taking on the Czech Republic. That's with Rowan from 10 to 5. Should be a very good game indeed. Winners of that play Denmark. Winners of this game, of course, Italy. They're going to face either one of Belgium or Portugal. I've got that game tomorrow at 10 to 8. Should be a very good game indeed. And then I'm back once again with Croatia against Spain. That's round of 16, 28th of June at 10 to 5. Should be a very interesting game indeed. Don't forget, if you want to check out our social media, as always, our Twitter is @_top corner, And our Instagram is _sportscorner_. Do go and check that out if you haven't already. Really would appreciate if you do so. If you want to know when we do go live on the channel, link is in the description and also in the chat, as Kyle does as always. But I think you've got to say, Kieran, it is a very, very valiant effort from Austria, and they can go out of this competition with their heads held high. Big confidence booster for the World Cup qualifiers that they've got. But Italy, on the other hand, they've got a game between either Belgium or Portugal. Should be a very good match either way. And I think a very important warning sign that they can't put performances like they did if teams are going to play similarly against them in a defensive manner.
Yeah, I think they're fortunate that I don't think Belgium or Portugal will play with 10 men behind the ball. I think you said earlier, like, their quality, they have a little bit more quality than this Austrian team. So they won't play like that. But you're right, if they are struggling to break teams down, it took them 100 minutes today to get past this Austrian team. So it will be their first test against quote-unquote bigger sides. Maybe today was a good game for them to get the learning curve. You know, as we said in the group stages, they breezed through. This is a type of performance that makes a team and makes a winning team. But yeah, so proud of Austria today. Brilliant performance. On to Switzerland versus France. Get in. Love that. As thank you everyone who joined me in the chat as well. I'm just seeing Kyle, Wayne, Michael. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you, Josh, for being here and coming in at the half times for me. Because it was a long one, and it was a what's it called, like a draining one because of how much I was invested.
As you'd expect. It was a weird game because it was one of those where the whole 90 minutes obviously weren't as good as the final 30, but when desperation's on the line, it makes players obviously play with a little bit more drive and a little bit more passion and end-to-end football. You'd expect that in extra time at the very least. But Italy got a good game coming up next. Austria, they bow out the tournament, and hopefully we will have to see whether or not we get a bit more passion tomorrow. Rowan, of course, next watch along, Netherlands, Czech Republic. Should be a very good game indeed.
Yeah, should be
a very good one. But that's it for now. We'll finish there. Thank you, as always, to everybody. Big thank you to Kieran, of course. It was his stream today. If you are new, don't forget to leave a like and subscription on the channel. But as for now, we'll see you tomorrow for 2 more round of 16 games. Have a fantastic morning, evening or afternoon, wherever you are. And we hope to see you again soon on the Sports Corner.